Okay, welcome guys. We're back with Distant Worlds with Worldly Wednesday. So my name is DasTactic. Welcome to the channel. If you're sort of new to the channel, if you're watching this live, then please ask any questions you've got about the game. I'll do my best to answer them. Yeah, we'll just get back into where we were. We've sort of been doing fairly well. Everything is paused. Just want to make. I thought I saw something flash over here. I thought, oh, maybe it's still active. But let's actually just go through where we are. We're doing fairly well now in the game. We're sort of in the mid game, actually early mid game. We're still got early techs that we're still trying to get our hands on. We've got enhanced countermeasures coming, which will take about 1 year or so. Now we could. I might just go and pay for this. I think. Like, let's just go and. Let's go and crash this research. So we'll go and do that one just to sort of speed it up. So we're going to now get this one in less than a year, so 251 days. We've got enhanced civilian ships queued up next, which is probably okay actually. I don't think I want to go for any of these actual colonizations at this stage. I don't think we need that. Do you have multi-team exploration as well? I don't really need it. That's just the survey modules. Sector governance would be awesome. That would be really, really good. It's going to take 15 years though for that one, so that's a little bit too far off. As we sort of come back, some of these are the ones which are only going to take about 5 years. This is a military academy, which will give us better chances for admirals and generals, plus we get targeting countermeasures and colony defence. Structured research, we get the Science Academy. That's not bad. Yeah, this is not bad. All research goes up by plus 10% as well. I think we might look at that. I'll just have a quick look and see. Before I accept that, I'll just quickly have another quick look up the top. Enhanced Commerce Centre. This is going to give us the Commerce Centre version 2. Trade bonus of 40%. Now, we're not doing much trade. 30% there, so it goes up to 40%. It's a tricky one. The trade bonus, yeah, it's 10% more on trade. We can have a look to see, because our money situation, because we've got new planets, is a bit of a problem. We've got enhanced storage here, which is going to give us better fuel cells. That would be okay. This is going to be passenger and troop compartments, and we are going to have to start to do that as well at some point. These are all actually, that doesn't take that long. I might get the extra fuel cells. Actually, it's only 2 and a bit years. Let's go and pay the costs on that one, and throw that one up into the second tier. We may still come back down to the bottom there as well and pick up the other one. Stealth I'm not going to worry about. Enhanced target tracking, this one's going to give me targeting of plus 20%. Again, it's only 2 and a bit years for that one. Would all be good, would all be great actually. And fast mining, this is only 2 and a bit years as well. This would actually sort of really ramp up what we can actually then mine. So that's actually another good one. I think I'm going to grab that one. I'll just sort of queue a few of these things up and just get them fairly quickly. We're trying to get the civilian ships. How long does it take for those? That's actually, that's not too bad as well. I'll grab the civilian ships first before that one. We'll eventually be wanting multi-role starships. They're only 8.5 years for that. I'll wait. Oh God, I really want this badly actually. Getting the cruisers. Just because of all the different weapon slots that we end up getting. You'll get a weapons range increase there of 10% for one of the Wekaris light cruisers. Improved frigates would also be quite useful actually. That's only 2 and a bit years. You know, I might queue that one in as well. We'll pay the costs and pop that one up just ahead of the civilian ships. And then we've got the actual, then we've got the weapons. Oh, high volume thrust. Oh, damn it. Geez, we're so close with this one now as well. The Acceleros engine should really be the next thing we get. We're so close to getting this. I think I'm going to buy that as well. It looks like we're picking it up anyway. Yeah, let's go and pay the costs on that one. because the big benefit we have playing as a Wakaris is just how fast we have with impulse, our impulse drives. So let's go high volume thrust, enhanced storage, improved frigates. Let's go that way. Enhanced countermeasures coming very, very soon. I should have waited until I had that one and got that one first, but that's okay. Planetary shields. Now we're going to just start to grab these sorts of things because this is more for bombardment. We are unlikely to be bombarded dramatically for our bigger areas, so I think I'd prefer to get other different types of planetary support. Got liquid energy storage back in through there. That's the hydrocore capacitor. I don't really need any more of those. These nuclear supercharging. We've got the fission reactor version 2. Quantum exploitation. Now this gives us, at the moment, this one gives us 74. For that one there, which I can get in 5 years, that's going to give me 125. It may be worth getting that one. That one's 89, and then that one is 84. The 125. If we have a look ultimately at our smaller ships to see what our actual energy output requirement is, that may be worth having a look at, I think. If we can steal this though, the Nova Core reactor, we get 120. So that's probably going to be, I think I might wait for that one, but that's something that would be interesting. Then back up through the weaponry. We haven't really gone deep into the actual weapons. We do have a bombardment, the Atomic Devastator, which I'm not really going to be bombarding, although I probably will when we get to the Boskaran worlds. I'll probably end up just destroying those, I think. So by the time we sort of get there. The missiles I'm not going to really be worrying about. The enhanced torpedoes are interesting. What I need to find is we need, like if we're going to be trying to destroy the carrier, the big carrier that sort of is haunting us, we're going to need to get shield bypass. So torpedoes aren't going to be what we need, but railguns could be. So we've got the rapid fire projectiles back in through here. So we've got the railgun, like the medium railgun version 3, which has got a shield bypass of plus 40. And it's pretty small. That's actually worth thinking about. Hi Bjolf and Jom and GFFG. There'll be a Stellaris gameplay live. Probably not, actually. I don't really tend to play Stellaris. Hi Sketic, how you going? So yeah, probably not at this stage. I don't have any plans for that. What I do plan on doing is we've got the Warhammer Skulls week coming up as of tomorrow, so I'm going to be playing a lot of Warhammer games in the coming week. Projectile, yes, we've got railgun in through here. Yeah, this is something I'm just thinking of how we can destroy the that big carrier. If we have a quick look at what we've actually currently got in terms of our weaponry. We've got these pulse wave weapons, which do have an armor bypass of plus 50. Maybe we just stick with these. We might go to this one here. This is 7 years to grab this next one. We do have the large already. Yeah, the 50% armor bypass there is really, should be enough. Should be enough. But anyway, they've then got to get through the armor as well. But the that one there does, what's the damage done through here? It goes 20 to 30. That's a pretty substantial increase. I might throw that in the mix as well. So we're going from one extreme at the top of the list to the very bottom of the list, or near the bottom, to get structured research, which is also 4 years. I wouldn't mind getting this, just so that we can really push our research up. Yeah, let's go and pay the costs on that one, and move that one up above into there, and I will get this as well. Pay the costs, and just pop that one into that location there, I think. Maybe even go above the civilian ships. I keep on pushing the civilian ships back down. Anyway, that's a big long list of research projects now. All right, so that's going to be good. We're not at war with anyone, so which is at this stage is good for me. I'm just going to put my air conditioner on. Hi Tenru, how are you going? Now, Jeff is saying, what about Galactic Civilizations 4? Yes, I do have plans to be playing that fairly soon, actually. I was thinking, once I finish off this run of Distant Worlds 2 for Worldly Wednesdays, that the next game that I was planning on playing for that was Gal Civ. Gal Civ's actually got a special deal at the moment. Like it's, I forget how much it is off, but there is actually, Gal Civ 4 does have... there's a few things that have been changing with Gal Civ. I was actually holding off. I was going to play it the other day, but then I'm holding off because I think there's still a little bit of a bug in the advanced beta for Gal Civ 4, which and I wanted to play like the coming stuff, the thing that's on its way. So so I was looking at that. I was looking at the changelog, and there was just a couple of little things with starting a new game with that one that aren't working 100%, and I really want to show. I think the Galaxy creation has had a lot of attention lately in Gal Civ 4 with the sort of advanced, like the insider beta that you can actually anyone can sort of hook into that one. So I was looking to play with that a lot more. I was playing with it, I wasn't recording it, but I was playing with it the other day just to sort of see what was going on with it. And one of the interesting things with that now is you can create your own civilizations pretty quickly and easily, which is very, very cool. So so that game is improving all the time. And so I'm looking forward to getting into to Gal Civ 4 again very, very soon. So GF is then saying, I like better than Distant Worlds. Distant Worlds is very different. Distant Worlds is a simulation game before it's really a computer game, whereas Gal Civ and Stellaris are both more like board games that are played in a Space 4X board games. This is a Space 4X simulation game. So very, very different thinking, I guess, with the way that you approach the game. I think that's the easiest way to describe the differences between those games. And you've also then put in Interstellar Space Genesis as well into that more that board game sort of style game. In fact, I can't think of any other games like Space 4X's that are simulation games like this. So if you're saying, I've not played Gal Civ in a while, do you still have to come back with a million civilian names if you make a custom race? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Your hyperlanes coming to Gal Civ, says Face Peeler. Yes, they are. Not as something you have to play, just as opportunities. So what will happen is that you'll end up, once you get I think it's the subspace tech in Gal Civ, it will then open up some black hole to black hole stuff within the sector that you're playing. I think that's how that will work. It won't go from the mini clusters to another cluster because you've already got those hyperlanes. But these will be just smaller hyperlanes based back in the actual within the actual cluster that you're playing, which would be pretty cool actually. So it's not going to stop you from moving around on the hex grid. It's just going to give you opportunities to go to another location, which I think will be fun. It'll open the game up a bit more as well. Hi Began, how you going? And Second Meta saying Gal Civ 4 is 50% off on Steam and $20. There we are. So Gal Civ 4 at the moment is having a special deal along with Sins of a Solar Empire as well. So they're both Stardock games. All right, let's get into it. So, situation we have is we are in the top right corner. So the northeast corner of the galaxy map, and we're surrounded by potentially dangerous civilizations. This one here is the Daewits, who are the sort of like the arachnoid type, sort of more sneaky sort of force. They're down in this other side. We've taken, that's their home world right there. We've been able to, in the last episode, finally take nearly all of their worlds. They've actually claimed a fair few of their worlds now back into here, which is why our money is so terrible, because we're actually sort of slowly pushing them back. The next phase for us will be to essentially take over all of the, like anything they've got left over. They've still got bases left over inside our territory. So we'll end up sort of smashing their bases. As soon as we go to war with them next, that will be something that we do. But they're going to also be trying to take their planets back. So we're going to need to protect the planets. So we're going to have to keep a fairly strong presence in this region of space, which is sort of a bit of a problem, because I am really... I've got double concerns at the moment with what's going on. So the Daoits are a problem. The next one we have over through here, these are the reptilians, these are the mortalians, and they're growing at this stage, which is actually a good thing. Even though they're not friendly with us, they're not enemies with us. And so they're unlikely to go to war with us, for the simple reason that they're also struggling against the Daoits, the Boskarans. They've got two groups of There's a Boskaran group over through here, another Boskaran group up through here. They've been at war with a lot of different factions, but not with us. So, in fact, if we have a look at the diplomacy, we can sort of see who's happy with us and who's not. You can see there the Boskara Overmind is extremely furious with us. So we're going to be definitely at war with them next, and that will be a big problem. The Daoits are -18. We've just finished a war. You can see there we recently ended a war with this faction 1.6 years ago. Declaring war in this faction now would mildly damage our reputation, so we don't want to be doing that one. And essentially we're just going to keep on just managing that border with the Daoits while we then look at what we can do against the Boskara. The Boskara are a big problem. The Adels, which is this is the military dictatorship of the reptilians, so they're actually sort of down below us. You can see there they're displeased with us at -11. No one really likes us. We're playing as the Wekaris, which is not a very likeable faction. Then we've got the Boskara Devouring Mass. This is the other smaller Boskara group, which is back over in here. So that's there's another Boskaran faction right there, but that's too far away to worry us. But this Boskaran group here does worry us. We've claimed refueling stations like in the previous wars. We're sort of slowly pushing them back as well. And what the plan will be fairly soon with them will be to possibly bombard their worlds into non-existence and to actually smash their home world. Even if it may take us a few wars to do that. I don't really have bomber ships at all at this point in time. With nuclear devastators, so we may look at doing that as well in this episode. But they've got one big ship somewhere, which is that in here. This is the 1st Defence Force. No, they've got a group called, I think, the 10th Fleet, which has actually got a massive carrier, an ancient carrier, which is something that I want to be destroying, because that carrier alone is as strong as many of my fleets. My whole fleet is about the same strength as as that carrier. So I need to smash the carrier, and that's actually what I've titled this particular episode. So we're going to be looking to try to hunt down that carrier in this episode. I think that the big fleets that I've got will actually be okay for doing that. So we've got a whole range of different fleets now in this area of space as well. So we need to keep a presence over here for when the Daoits go back to war with us, which they will, and we need to now start to build up as much as we can in this region. But we can't really invade. So maybe, and if we do use the nuclear devastators, that is going to then sort of really destroy our reputation. But it would actually also, like if we could destroy their homeworld. Really, they're going to struggle for the rest of the game if we can do that one. We can also plan on going into their home world, their home system, and just take over strategic planets. Like this is a Caslon planet, for example. We could come back into here and grab their mining stations, for example, and just start to sort of dominate that way. This is their actual home world and through this other side. So you can see they've got actually some planetary defense. What else have they got? They've got a planetary defense center back in through there as well. Troop cloning and armor barracks. So they're sort of building up at this location. They've got 6 billion Boskarans living on that particular world, but taking that world out there would be enormous to do that one. But getting a presence in here as well would be great. Like that would, if we could dominate their own location, that would, even if we just went after their Caslon supply, their fuel supply, in around their home system and anything that's sort of in this region of space, that will then sort of push hard. There is another planet in the Hand system. I think it's in the Hand system, where this planet here is actually something where they've got Gizarians, Ikaru, and Akdarians are all on this particular world, and mainly Gizarians. They've been using Gizarian like to actually settle into different locations, but this continental planet is one that I would like to take. And so this is another one that I'm tempted to bombard this one as well, just to remove the population and then settle it with my own people, because this is actually an ideal planet for us. This is a big continental world. You can see there actually it's not showing it there for the suitability for us, but that is very, very suitable for the Wekaris. So thinking that like atomic devastators may be our next play with a lot of what they actually end up having. Back in through here, they've got another like planet down through here. Again, most of these little planets that they've got are Gizarian planets. They haven't really sort of made much use of their own. But this negative 163, we're definitely going to be going to war with them. There is a strong rust factor. So yeah, you can see down there, they're mainly upset. We're upset by your attacks against our military ships, but they started it. They actually flew their military ships into our territory and attacked one of my fleets. And my fleet, I've now built a big fleet up in there. The 4th Defence Force is a strong fleet, and they were trying to destroy that, but we've been able to come back in and then sort of fight back. But they didn't like it because we almost killed the carrier. Almost, not quite. But next time we'll see how we go. But we've actually given them a big blood nose. So that's pretty much where we are with the game at this stage. So I'm just going to unpause the game and just let things run forward until we get different events. All this sounds pretty evil. Yes, no, we played with a setup where we were going to make, like, our neighbours were going to be the most difficult thing around us. Now, why are you moving? This is moving to the Coit. We've got a research facility inside their territory, and so they're just moving in to protect. This is only a small defence force, and you can see we've got long-range scanners, so we can see what's going on around these different locations. So we'll just keep everything sort of thumping along. It's the money situation will eventually come good as the planets that we have start to assimilate, and you can see that we've got like a lot of new planets down this way that are costing us money. But some of the other ones, like Nair 2, is now sort of starting to become quite profitable. Cantrilla 4 is becoming profitable, which is good. Under attack, so the destroyer Ponicus. Let's just go and have a bit of a look. So we're going after a Vortikar. The Vortikars are so we're actually attacking. We're trying to destroy this Vortikar location. This is interesting, actually. Now that's the Ponicus there. It's actually okay. So there's a whole range of them in here. Now, why would that be the case? Unknown items are present. We haven't really gotten close enough to this particular world. This was most likely going to have a research location available to us in this one. We've done a little bit in through there, but there is still unknown items present there. So this one could potentially have something else going on with it. Nothing really suitable for colonising that one there. Build large mining station at Sloan. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm not going to. I'll just see how we go with this. Okay, agent is after carrying the mission, still researching information on Enhanced Commerce Centre from the Quimina. That's good. Our spies have done fairly well. And what else got their new mining station completed? That's fine as well. Water cars are quite difficult. Potentially, that's a big one there. This is the first attack force. You can see there some of our ships are taking damage. But now, still actually missing ship rolls at this stage. think I had extra ships in this particular fleet. All right, that's good. So that will then allow the planet to go and do other things from there as well. I'm going to go and tell it to go and retrofit. These are probably coming back for retrofits as well. Oh, that one's based at Nair. We do need to get another ship that's based back in there. This one here is based at the Ubersat spaceport, which I think is in here. Yep. So this is ultimately where we've got, we do have a spaceport that's been built there. So that's their home base. They'll eventually go back there. We have another, just a small defence force back into here as well, which is set for Yarra Station, which is also just in this system here. So we don't have too much we have to concern ourselves with. I've got different construction ships. They're going back for retrofits. I forget what tech we picked up. At the end of the last episode, we did actually pick up another tech, which means we have to go and it may be the hyperspace tech. I can't remember if that was the one that we actually ended up picking up. And then back in through here, we've got our third fleet, which is sort of like has been our main fleet. We've got the ninth fleet there as well. So we've got a few different, we're picking up. This is the detailed maps from the combat that occurred back in and around here. So we did get attacked in this region. So this is actually where we almost got the carrier last time. So they're just slowly sort of picking up the pieces here. When we start to see massive numbers of ships coming in, it just means that we're going to be attacked by the Boskarans. They don't tend to declare war, they tend to just do raid type attacks. Hi Halfman, how you going? And Vox just saying, Happy International Tea Day. Hi Kim, how you going? And Throwaway saying, this game is so difficult to learn, feels clunkier than Stellaris. It's sort of, it's difficult to learn if you try to learn everything. And that's the key, is not to learn everything. The key is just to play with the bits that you are happy with and let the AI handle everything else. So I'm looking after like some of my fleets. Like I've got the first attack force, for example. This one here is set for raiding, so it will then it will fix itself up. It'll clean itself up. In fact, that one does need to be topped up. So the first attack did actually lose a ship. I'll just go and order another one. If you've got everything set to automation, it will basically just look after itself. The second fleet is. Home base is Rossagiri. Now that's where is the second fleet? I've got a general in through there as well. Oh, this is actually the one that I used for dropping troops. That's okay. So the second doesn't have any troops on board just yet. Third is ready to go. That's just sitting back at Rossagiri, which is our home planet. Back over through here. So just getting ready for the Boskarans. Mission complete. Okay, so high volume thrust. Oh, actually that is going to give me that. So I didn't need to do that one. So that's now given me the Acceleros engines. So I've stolen that one from the Boskarans. So what that's going to do is this is now going to really sort of push what we're doing again. If we have a quick look and see where we are. The enhanced countermeasures are a version 3 of an existing tech. The enhanced storage is also going to be a version 2, which means we don't have to go and replace these. These are just improvements to existing areas. The frigates will then be a new one. Structured research, yeah, there's nothing much else. This is just version 2 again of these as well, so we don't need to worry about that one. So really, now with the Acceleros engines, now is the last time that we need to do an update of our ships for a long period of time. So let's go and do that now. And again, you don't have to do this. But I like doing it. This is something that I enjoy doing in the game is looking after some ship designs. If I don't do anything, if it's got hull upgrade set to automatic, the AI will just do it automatically for me. I don't even have to think about it. But if I've got it set to manual, I can then actually just manually control the way that these actually then work. So the thing I wish it would remember how you set these up, but I like to have the roll as the sort in through here, so all my escorts end up being together, all of my frigates will end up being together, and the destroyers, etc. So at least all the classes of ships are where they should be. You can see there that what we've currently got is we've got 45 of these heavy escorts, so the hull type is heavy escort back in through there. The frigate that we've got 52 of those. That's our main ship that we've been using, and the destroyer we've got 11. I'm finding that the frigates are almost as powerful as the destroyer, so that has been really quite useful. If we have a look at, well, let's start with the frigate and just see what we can do with the frigate. If we go and edit this, I can't edit it because I've already got ships, but it'll tell me what's actually going on with it. So if I have a look at the existing ship, we've got 2 fission reactors. This is where I wanted to have a look to see if that 125 was going to be enough for the energy. And if we have a bit of a look, this is the energy usage. And so the reactor energy output is 148. And what are we using? We are using... yeah, we've got like that would definitely sort of fit underneath that one. And that one there would as well. It's only the hyperdrive that's actually the problem here for the so the 120 like that. We can see that it's about 100 that we're actually using up in total. In fact, it's almost exactly 100. It is exactly 100. 33 plus 67. So so that's actually what our requirement is. So we've got if I could get like a better reactor, and the reactors actually these are size 22, these fission reactors. Let's just cancel that for 1 second and close that as well and go back to our techs. And because the frigates are so important to us, I'm thinking we actually do now also go and grab the reactors. Just quantum exploitation. It's 5 years for this one. This is a completely different one, but the output there of 125 is 25 over our requirement for the frigates. So I'm going to pay the costs on that one as well. I'm going to move that one up. Yeah, I'll put it up pretty high actually. I'm thinking actually next, because that would actually really free up our ships to put all sorts of things on them, which would make our ships even more powerful. So let's go and do that, because that's going to save us like 20 odd tons of stuff we can then put on the ship. So I'm going to that's quite an important one for us, for our frigates at least anyway. Let's just go back to the frigates again. And so the frigates, if we just go into the edit, I want to see, I've got only 1 point difference here in what we can actually then go and add to the ship. So I've got to be a little bit careful about how we sort of then handle this. At the moment, what we're going to be replacing is going to be the proton engines. The proton engines are size 20. And if we have a look at the, again, I wish we would remember this one, but latest per category and family, and then this one here, bay type category, this is the filter, and then this is the sort. And so I want to go and have a look at the Acceleros engines. These are size 21. Damn it, they're 1 over what we have in through here. So we're going to have to lose probably the single vector engine. This is size 4. So I'll be able to get away with that. But if I can get rid of the fission reactor, that's essentially another engine. So like that one there would actually give us a lot of advantage by having only 1 reactor, not 2. You can see I've got a second fission reactor on board, and so that's 44 tons of reactor on the ships. If I could get that down to say 20 or 22, that's going to be very, very helpful. But unfortunately, the new engine that we're going to be putting on, the Acceleros engine, is size 21, and so that's going to then go over what we need. So we know that we're going to have a problem with this, which means that the game is likely to change a weapon. So I'm just looking at the weapons we've got. We've got the pulse wave cannon, we've got the plasma blaster, and the sentinel multi-beam on this particular one, and that's I'm actually happy with that. So I'm going to just cancel that one, because we can't change it anyway, and then we're just going to do an upgrade. It's now put the Acceleros engines in. It has left a single vector in there it's gone over, so it's actually got the one defect. This is good. It hasn't actually changed anything that I don't want it to be changing. So I'm now in control. So we're now over by 1. So the Acceleros engines are going to dramatically improve the speed that we have in standard space. The vector is really going to be more about maneuverability, which I don't really need. So I'm going to ditch that one, and that will be the way that we then get it under our size limit. So that will be fine. When we do get the reactor and ditch the reactor, we could even put another Acceleros engine in, I think, which would be that would give me 4 engines. And I do actually have the capacity to put another engine on this. The thing is that we're so fast in space anyway. Like our sprint speed is 120, which is blindingly fast. It's almost double. It's slightly under double what a standard ship is in the game. So 120 is the sprint speed. That's what we have to try to match with the other ships in our fleet. We don't want ships being spread out. So that's really what we're aiming for all the ships. Pretty much all the ships that are going to be doing combat. That way they just stick together. So we'll save and exit that one. This is the Pulse Frigate version 6. So that one has now been updated. We don't have any of the version 6s. We'll just go to the Heavy Escort now as well, which has got 45 of those. Now I'm just going to go and have a quick look to see what it's got as well. We are 2 under, and unfortunately we've got 3 engines in here as well. 2 medium pulse wave cannons. Again, 2 fission reactors. Would be cool to be able to ditch those. And again, we're just under 100 there with the power usage required in that one. We'll just cancel that and then just do an upgrade. And again, we've just gone slightly over, which means that it's going to have to be the Vector engine will then go. This one travels at 114. It's not quite the same speed as the others, but it's up there. It's close to the actual speed that we actually have. I should have had a look to see what the previous speed was. I'll just cancel it for a second and have a quick look and see what we get by going to the Acceleros. Yeah, so we end up with a fairly substantial increase in sprint speed, which is sort of what we're looking for there. So I'll just do the upgrade, get rid of the single vector, and that is then going to be fine. So that's good. We've got three tons left over, which I can't really put anything else on. So we'll I don't think there's anything else I can place in there. Yep, then that'll be okay. So save and exit that one. And then we're using sort of like the original pulse weaponry, which that's why I've got to improve my weaponry as well. And finally the destroyer. If we just go and edit this one, now we've got a fair bit of space there, so I will be able to just do an upgrade here without any real problems. So we'll just go and do upgrade, which will then give me the Acceleros engines down through the bottom there. Still got 5 tons left over, but we don't have any more space left over anywhere in there, so that's all okay. And so these are sprint speed about 120 there again as well, so that's actually all good. These aren't as powerful as I would have hoped, the actual the destroyers that we have, so that's why I want to go to the light cruisers and just sort of see what we can get from those. But let's just save and exit that one. So now all of our combat fleets, all our combat ships that we need to concern ourselves with have now been updated. The game will update its own stuff as well. So now it's just a matter of just going through, like the first, I'm just going to go and tell the first attack force is going to need to retrofit. So it's going to go back home by the looks of things. The second is the invasion fleet. I will tell it to go and retrofit, because it can just do it right there. The third, definitely want that one to retrofit. The fourth, back over through here. Now this is at Fella Station. It's going to have to come back to Rosgiri as well. And so I will actually tell it to go and retrofit as well. And so it's going to come back in and retrofit at Cantrilla 4, so back in the homeworlds. The fifth, back over through here, is moving out. I'm going to tell it to retrofit at Nair 2, so that's its home base. The sixth is way over at Coit. This is one of these things where it will automatically go back for retrofits anyway. It wants to go back to Rosgiri 1, right back to our home world. I will actually allow it to do that. So we'll just go and retrofit that one. These are all on auto, all of these different things. They will do it anyway. The 7th Defence Force home base is Yarra Station, which isn't really enough. It can't retrofit there. I'm just going to let it do its own thing. It will go off and retrofit. I'm just forcing some of the others. The 8th is also just a defence force. I'll let it do its own thing for a little while. It again has been given a role. The 9th is, I do want this one to retrofit, so I'm just going to tell it to go and retrofit at Roskirri as well. So we're going to be very quickly sort of trying to retrofit our main fleets. Hi Tenor is saying, when will you continue the Shadow Empire run? Oh, probably another week. I'm trying to do them about a week apart, just so it doesn't destroy my channel. The algorithm, I'm trying to manage the algorithm. Otherwise I'd play them back to back, to be honest. Now I've missed a lot of comments into here. So Began saying, is Galciv 4 worth it at 50% off? I love Distant Worlds 2, so I don't know if it, on sale it'd be worth it to me. It's a different game. Galciv 4, and I will be playing that. Like as soon as this run of Distant Worlds is done, I do plan on playing Galciv. It is one of the great games, one of the great Space 4X games, and it just gets better and better. In my opinion, I really like it. It's certainly much broader in the sense that you've got incredible scope for building different factions, like incredible scope. There's no other game like it really, in terms of being able to play in a different way. And to put that into perspective, there's how many different variations, like basic variations of things. You've got about 40 different ways of playing the game in terms of a civilization. You have 2 of those for every civilization. You pick 2 of them, so it's 40 times. I'll say 40, just to keep it sort of So 1600. You got 1600 variations essentially, or basic variations for the for your factions. It's essentially like you've got a game with 1600 potential factions in it. Depending on how you want to build them, and then you can tweak them from there as well. So there's a lot of scope. It's in fact the creation of the civilizations is probably the most impressive thing about it. To be honest, it's just amazing. And then of course the gameplay itself has been tweaked and changed to try to sort of streamline a lot of the jobbing, or a lot of the micromanagement has been taken out of the game, but it's still got a lot of strategic choice, which is always very, very important. So no, it's very, very good game. Valanis is saying, I try to start Galciv, but always just end up being at Distant Worlds 2 for my Space 4X fix. I know what you mean. They are different games. You've got to treat Galciv as a board game, and you've got to treat Distant Worlds. This is why some people will actually just gravitate to the simulation of Distant Worlds, and some people will gravitate to the board game aspect of Galciv or Stellaris, basically. And that's I think it's just how you get how you arrange the gears in your mind for when you go and approach these different games. I think that's because I often think about when I play games that are a little bit different to other games in the genre. I always try to think, what's the approach you've got to take to actually to be able to get enjoyment out of a game, because it's one of those things. Distant Worlds is one of these games that you don't rush. You don't try to expand as fast as you possibly can, because that's going to kill you. Distant Worlds 2 is very, very much a slow-paced game to a large extent, which is one of the things I love about it. Whereas Galciv is the opposite. You need to get those initial planets as quickly as you possibly can, and so it's sort of different the way it sort of works. It's very cool. They're both games are completely different in the way that you approach them with just with your thinking, which I do like. So Began saying, yeah, that's exactly what I think I'd do. I'm curious about Galciv 4, but don't see it taking the place of Distant Worlds 2. Yeah. So Boland's saying, I have my lightning missile standoff ships this fast. It's nice. Yeah, it's like, again, different strategies of how you play. I'm steering clear of missiles because we're trying to get in close and dirty with our fast moving ships. So we should be able to then sort of pick on different things with our. This is why the Accelerator engines are good for us that we've just put onto our new fleets. Boland's saying, happy time zones, everyone. That's a good little statement, actually. I've had to think of how I can use that, because that's very much what happens with me, because I'm on such a weird time zone and such a weird time that I play the game. Much fun. It's saying Began would make sense when there is bank holidays ahead and more time available. Generally saying, when we continue Shadow Empire, but about a week, I would say. Those spaceports look quite busy. Lots of building going on. Yes, there will be, but they'll shuffle them through pretty quick. It's only really just popping in those engines, and so they will shuffle through those relatively fast. So I'm not really too concerned. Boland's saying, I love Galciv 2 and its philosophy of don't advantage the player over the AI. Well, Galciv 4 has been built really on the back of Galciv 2. Galciv 3 was certainly a consideration, but Galciv 2 was where they went back because that was their most popular game out of the series. And so Galciv 4 is actually has got more from Galciv 2 than it has from Galciv 3, which I think works. So Boland's saying, so no direct battle control and other shenanigans the AI can't fiangle well. Yeah, no, it's there's sort of you can tweak things now in Galciv, which I do like that one. There's a DLC that allows you because I do like that to fiddle with the combat. So Thundersocks is saying, I like Stellaris, but the micro gets me every time. Might be partially the silly amount of mods. Yeah, look, that can be the case. Tenor is saying Galciv 4 has great immersion when it comes to a space game. The gameplay is kind of meh. Yeah, it's sort of like, again, there's the auto battler system, which I never really warmed to, but I respect why that's the decision that they've got. Being and say, too many games, not enough time. Okay, on YouTube, comments in through there are Boxer saying Happy International Tea Day. I'll have to. That's going to have been yesterday for me. I'm guessing, which is a shame because there's the person I sit next to at work actually loves drinking tea, and I wish I had known it was International Tea Day yesterday. So throw away this is saying this game is so difficult to learn. Again, it's just pick what you're going to focus on, and then you should be fine. It feels clunkier than Stellaris. It's a clunky game. I've got to say that the user experience in this game is poor, as in terms of the way that the UI gives you information, and they are trying to address that. I'd been a bit sort of scathing in some of my comments when I've been playing the game, like a few months ago actually, about just how that they really should be focusing on giving the player more information, just so that they can play the game easily rather than needing to know where to find things. Like, for example, these fleets that I've got everywhere, it's so critical that these are set up the way I've got them set up. Otherwise, you're doing micromanagement the whole game. And at the moment, I don't have to do any micromanagement. The only fleet I've actually got that I've got to micromanage is this one over here, the second invasion fleet. The second is actually set to manual. And that, just little things like that are the key to really enjoying the game. And to do that one effectively, you've then got to set up your fleets and your fleet templates, set up how they then operate, what they do, how they work. Now, like once you know how to automate fleets, it means that you don't have to you can just set and forget. So all of these that have got a symbol on them are automated. So it's only that one there that's the only fleet that I have that's not an automated fleet. And that's just my invasion fleet. So it's just sitting around waiting to pick up troops to then be taken to take them to other worlds. So this is. But other than that, everything is just set to auto, and they will just go and do their own thing largely. I can still override them, which is what I will do in certain instances. But overall, that's sort of the approach, but the game doesn't help you with that, and that's just where the user experience is poorish in the game. But I was surprised actually when I saw a presentation by Eric Rutan's a couple of months ago now about what they've been focusing on and the changes, and I thought actually they've really been putting a lot of effort into getting the user experience up to a higher level. It's funny because games like any of the Paradox games will focus very heavily on UX, and Stardock now do as well. So Galciv is becoming much, much stronger in terms of its UX, UI aspects. So the user interface, user experience is something that they've been focusing very, very heavily on in probably the last 6 months or so, 6 to 8 months. Whereas Distant Worlds has actually fallen behind in that sense. But having seen what Eric has been speaking about, I have to say, they have been putting focus into it, but not as strongly as something like Galciv, I think. Okay. So Adrian is saying, what do you think is more entertaining about this game than Stellaris? For me, it's a simulation. The fact that you're actually playing like where you've got so much, like all these little ships, these little frigates, sorry, little freighters that are moving around, just the whole economy that you don't even control. It just happens. I just love that aspect. It sort of, I find that so immersive. The fact that it's actually got to have real things happening. There's very little that's abstracted in this game. Most things, you've got to have resources at the location to be able to build something. If you don't have it, like for us to be able to build the Acceleros engines, for example, on our ships, to upgrade our ships, we need to have the materials, or the difference in materials to get the Acceleros engines. And if we don't have them at a location, we won't be able to do the upgrade. And so this is where the game itself, you have to have all of the different resources. They're just so important. And this is why when we do go to war with the Boskaran, we're going to be able to starve them. The fuel is the easiest one to starve them off, but if we find other important resources that they require, we could actually then start to take those mining stations as well and just block them off and stop them from being able to actually operate, and that will then start to strangle them. And so the game doesn't have to be one where you're literally just abstracting different resources, building what you like, and then going and destroying worlds. The game can very much be played like where you actually strangle the economy of an empire because of the simulation. And the plan here will be to probably sort of start to take out their Caslon, their fuel supply first, just to stop them from being able to really operate with fuel, which it means that they're going to ultimately end up with ships that are going to be struggling. And it'll take a long time for their fuel supplies to drain off, but they will eventually drain off. And then if we've got control of the fuel in through here, like if all of the fuel planets are under our control, then they're going to have to go further afield to get their fleets replenished, which is good for us. So it sort of gives us opportunity to sort of start to dominate. And we only, like when the next war that comes up, it may be that let's just sort of see if we can take the fuel. Maybe we don't even go for the homeworld. We just look for the fuel that's a bit closer around to the homeworld, take that war, you know, let the war end, defend those areas with fleets. Those fleets will then put pressure because we won't control their space, so we'll have a presence inside their space, which will then make them angry. They'll go to war with us again, and we just do the next little bit. So it can be a long process, but again, if you go in with these sort of because it's a simulation, if you go in with simulation objectives, it's actually it's very different than playing any of the other games, any other Space 4Xs, because of the way that you can approach war. You've got so many more choices because the game is just so much more open-ended. Okay, hope that makes sense. So that for me is what makes it so much better than the other games. So Selman says, then sort of saying that to throw away, fair to say Distant Worlds 2 is clunkier, but keep in mind Stellaris team and budget is probably 10 times that of Distant Worlds 2. Someone saying Distant Worlds 2 team is like 8 folks, mainly Elliot and Eric, not excusing the clunkiness, but it's an indie chart. Yeah, that's true. It's only a small team. I think there's sort of like 3 core people in terms of the. I think it's only 3 that actually are doing the coding, and then you've got like a couple of artists that are sort of working full time as well. So doing and they've done some great work, with this game as well. So that it's just a smallish team, but they do a good job. Throwaway saying, love your tutorials. Thanks for that. I'm slowly watching them and learning. Yes. Adrian's saying, are your weight loss videos still online? They've probably actually been put. They're probably still. They probably were so old that they ended up being. I've got them somewhere, but they won't. I got hacked a year or so back, a year and a half ago, and all my videos got privatized, like because of the hack, and I've got to go through every single video. So I sort of haven't really been focusing on it, but I will actually. I still have them ready to go. I just have to unfocus them. So it's sort of where you go. Do you have other favourite games that are so immersive? Look, I find Age of Wonders to be in the same sort of vein, to be honest, in a different sort of way. I mean, it's not as intricate in terms of the supply, but you don't have to. I'm not even really looking at the supply unless I have to. So it's not as if I'm struggling with the supply in through here. We certainly changed our we're certainly controlling special resources back in these two locations here, which is why we've sort of got like a presence in around this way. We don't want these planets to fall. These are supplying a luxury good. In fact, if you have a look to see, what's that one got? That's got polymer coming back. I mean, it's just trying to find what the different ships are that are going to have them. No cargo, that one's going in to pick something up. That one's coming back with no cargo. No cargo on that one. But some of them will actually be having different resources coming back out. Just want to look at the different freighters. This one's got a heap of stuff that it's actually picked up and is bringing back. But there'll be some big luxury goods coming back into Roskiri, which is actually where we get the money from. So the money that we get is often a function of the luxury resources that we can then bring back to the planets. And so these two planets here are vitally important for that. Like they massively improve our economy, and so this is why these were worth going to war over. And at this, like we did this a long time ago now, but that was sort of, this is where again just the simulation of the game gives you objectives the surprising objectives that you're just not really thinking about. And so as we sort of start to find opportunities, and we have been focused in here for a long time, Caslon really will be the thing. And I don't think there's much Caslon in this area. If I go into my resources and then just go and click on Caslon, you can see there I actually control the Caslon here. I've already taken this one. There is a Caslon mine down this way, but this is actually controlled by pirates, and they're friendly with us. So I don't need to attack the pirates at all. And so then we've got, there's no Caslon mine at hand. There is at Lambness. There is at, so I've only got like 3 mines, three locations that I would need to take in the next war. And so I probably would end up taking this one, that one there. Probably that one there would be the next one that we take. And then the homeworld. And if we just take those 3 Caslon supplies as a war objective for ourselves, that's then going to starve them of their ability to pick up. And in fact, the pirate faction that's down this way, if we have a look and see what they're doing, if we just go across to diplomacy and pirate relations. So we've got the Artuk cartel, which is the one that is this one here, down on that, and they're actually, we do have military refueling and non-aggression treaty with them. But we can see what they, so they do actually have a protection agreement with the Boskaran overmind, but they don't have a refueling agreement. So they've only got it with us. So it's not even as if they can go back in there and buy it off the pirates. So once we take those refueling stations, they're going to have to keep on going further afield to actually pick up their fuel. And so this is where, again, just that simulation of where you have to have the resource at the specific location kicks back in. And because we've got an ambassador on their world, we can see what's happening on their world. And so, for example, if we have a look at the resource shortages here already, I can then see what's going on. Now, they don't have a resource shortage of Caslon. They've got a hell of a lot of it here. 15,000 Caslon on that world is, it means that they're going to be able to just live off that for a long period of time, like years and years. But if we're playing the long game, where we actually take all their Caslon supply, that's going to really diminish what they can then do in the long term, but not in the short term. In the short term, they don't have a problem in the world. We can actually see if there's any other resource shortages that they've got, and they don't really have any at this point in time. Their luxury resources, they certainly do. And again, we can have it, because we've got the ambassador here, we can see what's going on, which is quite interesting. Like anything in red is something that they do have problems with. They're trying to get a few of the other things coming back in. What I'm looking for is any of the super resources, and they don't have any of those, which is good. So yeah, if they did have super resources, like if we go back to our worlds, and I'll just show you what I mean. Like I'm using a mod that colours the resources, by the way, which makes it so it's very easy to sort of see the important resources. So on our home world, we've got 27 resource shortages. You can see there we've got like 112,000 Caslon on ours. Like, so we've got heaps of Caslon, which is fine. Hexadorum is a little bit low. Not that matters that much. And we've got more coming in, but these different resources back into here, these will be coming in from the different freighters. And if we have a bit of a look, we're just looking for the yellows. yeah, Zentabia fluid at the bottom there, is we have a fair bit of that on our home world. And this is these ones with the gold or the yellow in behind them are incredibly important. Like these actually give 24% colony development, which essentially means money. So we end up with a lot more money coming from the worlds that actually have that. And so because we have the market for that, it's only people that can trade with us that can actually get access to that particular resource, or they can sort of destroy ships and then sort of take the resource that way. But in reality, this is why the Dayots had been trying to get hold of those again. They'd been sort of coming in to do invasions. What we did was they Dayots had originally set up a couple of mining bases. I'll just quickly show you these. This is a volcanic moon. There's nothing else there. Where is it? It's one of these. Yeah, this moon in here. This one's got the Zentabia fluid, and this is just an outpost. So this is like just an outpost. So these are essentially just these are a big drain on the economy. So these are like negative 2,000. On through here, what we've been doing is we've been telling the people to get rid of the Artuks and Dayots from this world, just so we end up with ones that are friendly to us. And so at the moment we've got mainly just Xenox, which are fully assimilated. You can see the assimilation of the Dayots. It just takes a long time for them to assimilate. So I've been wanting to try to replace the Dayots with Xenox, and in this case the Xenox, we've got they're fully assimilated. They're sort of friendly on our side, and we've got 19 million of them on that particular outpost. So they're mining they're happily mining the Zentabia fluid, and that then gets supplied to our colonies from those two locations. We've got another one over here where we ended up sort of ditching all of the population there. In fact, what I can do is I can actually go and remove I can remove everything from here now as well. We don't have to keep this running. We can abandon this outpost because we control space in here. This one, they had control over this. We had the planet was an outpost, so we controlled it. But now that we actually control the planets, I no longer need to keep this because that's a massive drain. I could just leave that one alone and actually just have the. I think I might do that actually. That's going to save me an enormous amount of money every year. So if we just go back across, abandon Elbaniski. We'll completely remove it. It will not become an independent colony. So I'm just going to go and ditch that one. So let's go and do that one right now. So we'll be permanently abandoned. Yep. So we'll remove the population. Now it says all will be disbanded and all characters will be transferred elsewhere. I'm going to cancel that because we've still got three cloned brigades. Yeah, so these are actually different forces that we end up having. Again, look, I think I'll actually just ditch them just because of the money. So let's just go and do that. So we'll abandon the outpost. That's now just a planet on its own. And because we control space around it, I couldn't do that before, but since the last war, we do control the space. I can now just change that to a mining station. That way I don't have to pay maintenance on it. So we'll just go and queue up a mining station there as well. So that then gets rid of the outposts, which will then improve my money situation out of hand. So that's going to be very, very helpful. All right, let's unpause again and just wait. Well, I'm waiting to be attacked by the Boskaran really before we move off. But now that we've got these different fleets that need to be retrofitted, if we have a look at, for example, at the 6th, so it's going back in for retrofits. This is going to then leave the Coit the Coit area unprotected for a little while. The Boskarans haven't really been going after infrastructure. They've been trying to go after the fleets. Now, as we see different things coming in, we can sort of see things coming in across the range. And what have we got going in here? These are pirate ships. These are Artuk cartel pirate ships just in and around our mining station. So they're actually getting refueled from that location, which is fine. And we're looking for looking for other attack fleets coming through as they hit the long-range scanners. We've got long-range scanners at Fellas. And so once we start to see clusters of ships, we know that we're then starting to see Boskaran fleets moving around. And we've just got the First Defence is the only one we're seeing back at the homeworld. We don't get to see them anywhere else, really. They're selling us, and yeah, I'll accept that. Just get system maps. Okay, so enhanced countermeasures research completed. That's good. Just dismiss that one. So now the next thing we're doing is the quantum exploitation, which is going to be 5 years away. I'll allow that to just keep on happening. This is going to be another very important upgrade. Once we get to like about halfway through, in fact, if I go and have a look, I've got a lot of money. I'm going to go and click on this one through here. So the quantum exploitation down this way. If I initiate this 159,000 to halve the time, I'm going to pay that cost because that is going to be dramatic. So let's just exit the research. That's worth doing. So it's going to cost me a fair bit of my cash to crash research this one. So it's now 2.5 years. And then we'll have to do another retrofit at that point. But that's going to be a bit of a game changer. So we're reading a few more of the comments there. So deep simulations in games can be very nice to just watch and indirectly interact with. It's sort of like watching. It's like watching an aquarium to a large extent. You're just coming in and just poking the individual fish where you want to poke them. So Boland's saying I learned to overbuild some resources, especially when I have very distant or disconnected planets, but the freighter AI is somewhat a bit iffy, flying when ferrying some resource across the whole empire just because it was free. Yeah, yeah, you'll find that actually as your empire gets bigger, they do become a bit unwieldy. So Lagermat is then saying, is there a way to vastly speed up assimilation of unfriendly races on conquered worlds? Yes, there is. The way that you do that is to force them into rebellion. And so if you can force a planet into rebellion through overtaxation, for example, and I was trying to show you, where have we got a bad one? I won't do it because it's sort of, there's other negatives with it, but you can see through here we've got a Dayot world there, Salobari, but this one's actually fairly friendly, and then we've got one that we've just taken over through here. So if we go and have a look at Ababupa, which is a fairly large-ish world, and just go across to it. So it's actually on the. This is one that we took over fairly recently. So if I just go across and select it, and have a look at the actual population. See how it's only 19% assimilation at this stage with the Dayots. So this is quite slow, and these are quite slow to actually sort of go and do that one. What the game will try to do is keep the approval rate for developing locations at around about 5 happiness. And it does this through the taxation rate. And this one actually has actually got the taxation rate is actually fairly high at 27%, but it's still costing me a lot of money because of the lack of assimilation. So if I wanted to, I could actually force a rebellion. I've only got 4 troops on this particular world, so I don't really have a hell of a lot. I might actually just go, while we're here, just go and add in a couple more, just so that we end up with a little bit more protection on that particular world. So so at this stage, they're happy enough, even though they're not really assimilated. So we only got 19% assimilation rate on this particular world. We don't have any planetary facilities here either. The planetary administration complex would be fairly important. This will then help with the happiness as well. So that would be one way to help a little bit, but it's really not. It's like the best way is to make a rebellion, and the way that we would do that is to change the automation of the tax rates to manual. I won't do it, but this is the way that we would then. Actually, I'll show you the process. If we go and make that one manual, I can then go to the tax rate and then change increase the tax rate to 28%. So I can keep on increasing it until this goes dramatically bad. In fact, I'll show you. I'll just do it as an exercise. I know that they were going to tweak some of these things so you couldn't exploit it as much as what you could. If I just do a save here, save. There's another little fleet, just a defence. This is a Boskaran fleet, just inside our long-range scanners. I don't think they're not dangerous. They've got a presence out this way somewhere that they're just trying to maintain, and I'm happy for them to do that because they have to then go and protect it, which sort of keeps them off my back. Anyway, let's just go back in. We'll just go and return back to the game again. So because I don't want to do this because we are managing it, but if I had to, the way I would then go and do this is I would go to AB per, and you see there that at the other planet that we've got, like Saddlebari, these are 100% assimilated. So they're all, we've had this one for a long period of time. In fact, they joined us, but these ones here, AB per, are a problem. So we've got the manual, actually I'm going to have to make sure that I automate that one back again. But anyway, that's manual tax rates, and we can just increase the tax rates out of hand. See how the unhappiness is going bigger and bigger and bigger? And so I'm just going to tax them to, into a crazy amounts. So that's one way that we can sort of then go and do it. So we'll just go and do the taxation there, and see how the unhappiness is really at 100%. We're taxing them at 100%. The inhabitants of AB per are angry. It's now negative 125. What that will then do is when I unpause the game, colony is now rebelling. So we've now got they've now rebelled. So the unhappy inhabitants of our colony of AB per are rebelling against our rule, and so they'll go to show me. And so they are now have now decided to come and attack our forces. So they're actually coming in to attack. Now remember, they were at 19 or 20% thereabouts. We'll just crush this rebellion. So as long as you've got troops on the ground, you can then just do it this way. Now this will kill a number of what they're doing. I won't do this. I'm going to rewind it, because I like this will then this is not what we want to be doing. But this is one way to then improve the assimilation. You're getting rid of population by doing this. You should see the population come down a little bit as well. 667 at this stage. Yeah, so they're at 19% assimilation at this stage. They'll eventually be destroyed. This is one way to make them unhappy. It's other things you can do, but this is the easiest way to go and do it. Now we've got a pirate attacking. I'll just dismiss that. We don't need to know that one. But our troops are strong enough here to push back against the rebellion. But you can see that they're actually having an impact on our troops. Yeah, so there's different hive swarms building up. We are going to have to get cruisers as well at some point. They're down to 3 groups now. And so they're certainly, they're having an impact on what's actually happening through here. So we're trying to restore order with our troops. This sort of reminds me very much of like Star Wars type sorts of operations, like with the Empire. By the way, if you haven't watched Andor yet, God, that is a good series. Unbelievably good, actually. Like it's, I really wasn't expecting much from. There we go. Now I'm just going to pause that. So we've put down the rebellion at Abipur, so we'll just dismiss that one. And if we have now a look at this is at Abipur, you can see there that they're unhappy because the taxation is still high, but the assimilation rate of the Dayuts there is now 49%. So we've now sort of gone and pushed that assimilation high. If we do it again, it'll get higher and higher. So we can actually force it at the cost of population. So if I go back into Abipur, and it shouldn't affect our reputation. There's nothing else. Like we were just pushing things along. And so if I go back into the actual planet, maybe we'll leave it in here, to be honest. It's the planet itself. If I just go and grab that one. But that's one way that you can force it along. So you can actually push the assimilation along that way, just through forcing rebellions. Now, I'm going to ditch this one and just get the happiness right down again. So that's one way to just sort of keep on, essentially halving the differences, I think, is sort of, you can sort of do it that way. I'll just go and bring this, the tax rate to, I think it was about 27. Yeah, that keeps them at around about that same level. I'm just going to automate that one, though. I don't really want that to be something that we get involved in. I will actually change these to garrisons as well, once these are built. And so, so they're unhappy at this stage, but at 0, it's essentially not really going to be a factor. And so, and if I then just unpause the game, they're plus 21 now, and then the game will then just try to keep them fairly happy. So, but they're now 49%, so we're getting more assimilation, which will then make the planet pay more. Like, so it ends up costing us less to start to sort of then have these planets. So these cost a fair bit to keep them going. Like this one here, for example. This one's only 17% with the Artooks. They will assimilate very, very quickly, but we only just took this one over. So again, this is going to be one of these ones that will eventually, but they assimilate very, very quickly. So we don't really have to worry too much about those. But that's sort of how you can then go. I hope that helps, but that's sort of one way you can really push that along. So where do we get up to in the other comments there? So, and then Boland's saying, do you mean the Rebellion exploit? It's quite costly in pop, though. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, actually. It didn't cost us too much in population. Yeah, so like I'm not saying, yeah, it's a Rebellion exploit, but on a heavily populated planet like an enemy homeworld, it vastly increases cash flow. Yeah, so you can also do things, for example, like on the planet, you can actually then decide what to do with that population. I can actually enslave them, and so this will also make them, it'll affect their reputation. It will sort of stop them really from, they will assimilate eventually, and the more assimilated they are before you start to enslave them, the more you will be able to then exploit the planet. So you don't want to do that when you first take over a world. You're better off having, like, forcing a few rebellions and then enslaving them once you've actually got a fair few of them assimilated, because it's the assimilation rate that actually has a bearing there, but that also keeps them unhappy. But it does change like if you have to do it because of the actual, because of your economy. And you can see there that, like, this Artook world is actually costing me a fair bit in through here, like, 5,000, is a fair amount. That's something we could consider to enslave if we wanted to. Like, we could actually enslave that particular world, which would then change what's happening there, but the assimilation rate would have to be higher first. So we'd probably need to push a few rebellions before we actually sort of went and did that one. But it's pretty cool, those little aspects of the game, just sort of changing again the simulation sort of style of stuff. Let's unpause. Okay, so we're finding it different. Again, we're finding stuff as we're sort of searching in through here. There's a space liner there. What is that? It's one of ours. It's okay. It's a resort base. That's also got a long-range scanner on it, so we're sort of seeing deeper into their territory. And again, finding locations for resort bases inside territory will give us long-range scanners and also resort research stations. So finding the research stations inside the Boskaran territory would become a major target for us, so we can actually end up with getting long-range scanners close to their homeworld, which would then really give us like eyes everywhere with what they're doing. They'll also have long-range scanners as well, but it would be very handy to be able to see what's going on. Just let the things sort of develop. Yeah, Boland's saying, I think the rebellion can also kill characters and damage structures. Yeah, it seems that outposts never rebel. I stirred up an enemy one with spies, permanent -60, and they still remain loyal but unhappy. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, outposts are different. They're handled very differently. Well, it's handy not having to worry about the Yaris system, to be honest. In fact, that 7th Defence Force there, that still needs to go off for retrofitting. It will eventually do it when there's an opportunity, but I'm going to change its home base. Actually, Yaris does have a research station, so I'll leave that one there. Oh, fusion ignition from the Quaminos. I don't think that's all that useful, but we're rattling through. We've only got 2 years now to get this new reactor, which is then going to, as I said before, dramatically improve what we can then go and do. So there's different wars going on. send the attack force. This is actually a mission where it's just saying, like when we've got raiding forces or forces that can go and kill things. This one here is actually wanting to set an attack out this way. So I'm just going to go and say yes, assign that one. So that will be the like one of the fleets that is within range of that one is actually now wanting to just go off and clean up some of the creatures that are around the place. Yeah, there's one there. You can just see it. There's hive ships in here which we have to be very, very careful of. Money is good at this stage, which is great. So Lugamat saying, have you ever started a game with very low amounts of colonisable planets as an option and low independent colonies? I need to find it only applies to the player and not the AI. I know I haven't ever done that. So Mr. Supreme is saying, how's it going, Tactic? I'm just enjoying a lunch and Mountain Dew. No, it's going well. We sort of we're certainly established ourselves now in this game, but in terms of the victory conditions, we've got to be a little bit careful. The Gizarians are getting closer to victory here, so they're pretty close, but we're coming fourth. So we're ahead of the Boskaran groups now. They're sort of way down the bottom here. Their economies are better than ours. Like our economy is pretty poor. They're doing better than this one here, but the Gizarians they're sort of too far away from us for us to be able to impact what's going on. They're way down in here, but they're also they're very, very dominant. Yeah, once we can get this reactor, this is going to change things a lot. So yeah, this particular group, the 5th Attack Force, is just going off to clean this up. There goes that little fleet of Boskaran ships just moving back out towards their homeworlds. Still got only the first. I haven't found the 10th. I've been sort of looking out for it to see if it comes back to their homeworld, but it hasn't yet. We did give them a big blood nose in the last episode. There's a lot of reptilian ships moving across, different space liners and things, moving out towards the deadly abyss. Here comes the 6th, which has now been retrofitted. So it's now done its retrofit. Now they want to sell us a system map. I'll just take it just to keep them friendly. Now this is a different group. I'm going to decline that one. Hive Swarm sighted. Yep, let's not worry about that one. And trade deal. Yep, that's okay. We're just getting different system maps, which isn't really of great value to me, but while I can afford it, I will take it. Actually, Redshirt's saying one way to start countering the Gizarians is to start capturing as many ships as you can. Actually, that's a point. I mean, I'm not geared for doing that, though, unfortunately. Oh, here we go. We've got... so the orbital escape launchers, we're sort of trying to steal that research as well. Yeah, let's have a look and see what else we can do to push that back. So this is to have the most colonies in the galaxy. They've got 37 colonies, so we're not going to be able to get that one. Build the most military ships in the galaxy. The Imperial Artuk Oligarchy has 377, but they're very, very close. So they're... So we're not going to be able to compete there because we don't have the economy for it. Spend the most time at war in the galaxy. The Ikaru have spent more time at war, but they're at 94% of that. Capture the most ships and bases in the galaxy. Ikaru also have got 15 that they've captured. Okay, so it's only 15. But you can see their progress in that sense is really quite high. But they're not going to be able to get much more than that, to be honest. So they're going to have to expand these others to be able to hit that line. So I don't think we've got any. There's nothing we have to worry about in the short term. Now we're under attack into here. This is actually just going to be the this Gravelex, which will be very, very simple. There we go, done. Here comes another one. Okay, ship just appeared.
So we don't need to worry about that one, it'll just handle it. This one's going back to the Coit system, that's going back to Fellas. So these have all done their upgrade. That one's just going back across, unknown mission, but it should be heading home. Yeah, Dat Nui is the Gizarian, so they're just getting stronger and stronger with what they're taking over. And we don't have any real friends, so it's not as if we're going to be able to get like a federation against the Gizarians. These are also friendly pirates, which we don't need to worry about. I don't think that these will be doing anything aggressive. These are, yeah, their fuel is okay. They're going back to retrofitted Han, that's what their objective is. So they'll bounce into our system at Coit and then they'll do another jump back to Han. And as I said before, Han is a planet I would like to grab, but probably not going to really happen. Now this is getting close to us, but it's not here to fight with us. It's just going to keep on moving across. So they're going back for retrofits. This is interesting. This has got what have they got? Proton engines still at this stage. I'm guessing that they've probably got Acceleros engines now as well, I would think. In fact, we can tell if we have a look and see what what this fleet's got. So if we have a look at the frigates in through here, yeah, they've got the Acceleros engines. That's the difference. So just pause again. So we started using small raid fleets for space beast hunting. Cool for the that's actually good, Boland. And so she was redeemed a custom reward. Perfect name for some religious or moral head like the Pope. Well, we don't. Well, I have to just call ships. I'm just naming ships or individuals. I'll show you the characters just so you can choose a character if you want one. So the characters we've got the Emperor. I don't think we can rename, but we've got the ambassadors. So we've got different ambassadors off. We've got 4 of those. The admiral's already been named. We've got a couple of generals and a couple of scientists. That's pretty much it. We do have spies, but the spies are they don't last all that long, so you have to be a little bit careful with that one. And we do have a fair few prisoners, which we've captured over time. So that's your choice. Sure, ambassador is fine. Okay, so we'll make it the Boskaran Overmind ambassador. It could be this one here, but I will have to call it by your name just so I can ban you if he gets killed in the wars, or if he gets assassinated. There we are. Alright, so helping with the espionage in this instance. So the ambassador at that world. Yeah, I've got one that's just floating around, the others are at specific locations. Okay, let's unpause. Like I've been saying to Boland, I thought that they started several games with those. Yeah, okay, no, that's okay. Yep, no, that's all okay. Okay, we'll just keep it going. But no wars yet this time around. I'm expecting the Daots to get aggressive again. The reputation is respectable. We can now go back to war with them. It's now the time is, it's been enough time there. But they've been, every time they go to war with us, they lose a lot. They're not dramatically difficult. Look, they're not being dramatically difficult with us. once we get this, is here. It's only 1 and a bit years now, and then we'll be in a very, very strong position. It's going to be a bit of a game changer with a lot of things, actually. I think even the destroyer, I think, was under that 125. I don't think we checked that though, did we? Yeah, no, we're under the 125 there, so we'll be able to get rid of one of its reactors as well, which is great. And possibly put in more engines. So the 5th is just going back. Yep, so hive swarms now being sighted everywhere. So the hives will start to wake up soon, and then we'll have to deal with them as well, on top of the Boskaran threats and Dayots. One thing I like about the game as well, like there's not very many planets in between us and this border here, and so this is this border here is very, very like it's nothing much really happening across there. So it's a bit of a nothing border, but this has been very, very active. This little border here, and as is this border. Like these have both ultimately been quite. It's quite interesting sort of how the game does operate. You can see there's hardly any movement out this way. New mining station completed. We'll just dismiss that one. I do need to keep a presence out this way, but I may, if we go to war somewhere, I'm going to flip this this fleet somewhere else, depending on who we go to war with. Might just speed up time because we're not really, nothing as much really is happening at this stage. The 7th has got no mission. I'm going to tell them to retrofit. The 8th, the 9th, just go back through all of them. The 1st, should have retrofitted. Just go and tell it to go back and do that. 2nd is done. 3rd, 4th. The 5th is fine. Yep, they're all good. Mission completed. Okay, so territory map, but it was that's now got diplomatic consequences. That's this group over here. So Vonschwan's saying, any ideas how to solve the problem that very far away bug empires get too powerful before the player can reach them? Do anything about it? Seems that the AI equips them with very useful combat research available from the start. Some of them have that. You just have to look at what their weaknesses are, and just when you do meet them, and just try to build up to exploit those. Like, for example, we know that they're going to see where we're coming. Like, for me, the advantage of playing with as a Wekarus is we've got the speed of the ships. So at impulse, I have to make sure that I make good use of that. So hit and run tactics are going to be what we end up using here. Quamino have made peace. Now this is where we may start to see, because I think that they've been at war with the Quamino. So they will. Then that's this grouping through here. It's not the Overmind. So the Overmind will eventually. I'm surprised they haven't declared war already. We could push it a little bit, but I'm going to wait until we've got these quantum reactors. The improved frigates would be quite useful as well, but I'll leave that one just for a little bit. We're going to be able to like the frigates have been fantastic. Probably the most useful ship we've got, to be honest. We've got 8 colonies. This is actually a fleet that's moving in, I'm pretty sure. Not that we can see what it is, so we don't know what's actually going on there. There's some sort of mining station there. here we go. We've now got enhanced bombardment, so we've actually stolen that from the Boskaran overmind. So this is cool. Like our guys are because the ambassador has sort of opened the door, the spies are going in and just taking what they want. So we've actually now got even better bombardment. Now I'm starting to think that would be, when we get the next lot of frigates, I'll probably make one of the frigates into a bombard frigate. And so we'll end up with, we'll sort of have a look at that once we actually get those frigates. I might even start to push them forward a little bit. There's a lot going on there. Not sure what they're doing. Just when you start to see collections like that moving around, it's can be a little bit off-putting. We do have a ambassador here as well, so we can sort of see fleets that end up back in here. But their empire is very, very far afield. Like, you know, they've got a lot to that they have to control. You see the space lanes with the various freighters and things operating around. 81%. You know, I think I'm actually going to change the order and put the improved frigates up above that one. It's because we've got the money, so I'm going to just crash research all of these different things. Here we go. This is the 14th Defence. It's now been upgraded. So if you have a look at their ships, this is an Impal. They've now got the Acceleratus engines on those. Got another Admiral that's appeared. That's good. Fourth. I might pop that Admiral back out to the fourth actually. So we've got the. This one here, I'm going to make this one manual, so manually controlled Admiral, and just tell it that its new location is going to be the 4th Defence Force. Transfer, because that's going to be front line against the Boskaran. They've also got, like, there's a lot of mining stations in here that we would like to control. That's, and then, yeah, I'll accept that one actually. Like, the ancient ruins are important to us. So we'll end up with, but they seem to be all over here, like they're just miles away. Yep, so there's lots of hive locations now around the galaxy. We've got a fairly big hive group in here that is going to be very, very difficult to actually, that's Gravelixes, I think, moving around, or border cars potentially. There's some hive ships in here. So these are various hive ships that are going to wake up the hive carrier. These are way, way too powerful for us at this point in time. It's in like a nebula. Okay, everyone's fine. He just redeemed a reward. There's a new Admiral available. Yes, there is. Here we go. Quantum research. I'll just pause this one now. Dismiss that one, and we'll just go through the frigates. Crashing of this research. What's it going to be? 77,000 for that one. We'll pay the cost there as well, just to get this one as fast as we possibly can. So we'll exit that one, and then we'll do we've got a bit of retrofitting to do anyway with the with these new reactors. But we'll just go across to I can do this different ways. I can go to the military tab, go to Admirals and Generals, which allows me to sort of see what's going on through here. So this one here is going to be von Schweinhund. Let's hang on. That's the hang on, that's a Dayut.
Oh, it's a Dayot Admiral. Okay. All right, that's fine. So we've got a friendly Dayot that's actually come across. There we are. Okay, dismiss that one. We won't dismiss that one. We'll just close that one down. So they're the two admirals now. They've both been named and positioned. All right, so we're getting stronger and stronger. Let's just quickly go back to our ship designs. So with the ship designs that we actually now have, if we go back to the frigate again, which is our baseline, and just go and edit this one again. So what we're going to expect to see here is that the fission reactor is size 22, but we now have a new reactor, the quantum reactor, which is only size 16, but outputs 125. So that's the energy output, which is enormous, really. So we end up with a lot more, but the thing is we chew through the fuel more. So I think that the fuel to energy ratio is 2.5, whereas the old one was 1.8. So this is a lot less efficient for the quantum, but ultimately it's going to give us much more power on the ships. So we're just going to go and cancel that. We'll start here and just do an upgrade. And we'll see that it's now put the... it's still got the fission reactor there. That's unusual. Let's go and ditch that one. Grab a quantum reactor. Just double check what's going on through here. You can see there that with one quantum reactor, this is if I'll just start that one again. I'll just so we can actually look at where this is being applied. So this is a Pulse Frigate version 6. I'm just going to do the upgrade, and it's you can see it hasn't really changed anything in through there. So the fission reactor at the moment, 2 fission reactors are supplying us with what's that, about 160 with what's going on. If I get rid of one of them, this is actually where it's just covering that one, but then our hyperdrive does no longer have enough energy. So we're just with one reactor. We don't have enough energy for the hyperdrive. So our hyperdrive capacity goes from 400k down to 338k because of the lack of power on the ship itself. So I'm just going to go and grab. If I want to grab the quantum reactor, which has got like a high output, it's now going to go. And if I get rid of the fission reactor, it now covers it. Just one reactor covers what was doing the job of 2 there before, which then allows me to then put in something else inside the inside this location. So we've got the hyperdrive, damage control, command center, 2 fuel cells, which is probably all that we really need at this stage. Our fuel range is very high. Sorry, that's weapon range. Where is it? Fuel range. I can't see it there. Where is it? Fuel range, nearly 500, which is a fairly high. That's all we really need. So with the quantum, it's giving us one extra slot, so I can actually go and place something else in there. I could go and get, for example, assault pods to be able to go and capture things. We've got other things that might sort of be useful. Another fuel cell if we needed to go even further afield. The small mining, yeah, we've got all those. The hydrocore capacitor is something we could actually make use of. What this one does is, if I go and place this one in, you can see down through there, if I just go and click on that one, where is it? Hydrocore capacitor there. This one here is a... gives me a little bit more countermeasures. The shield strength is 50. It goes up through there. The shield recharge energy usage goes up. The recharge rate drops a lot, and so it's in this case it's mainly just recharges our shields very quickly. That's probably the one to place on this one, because now I can afford to squeeze it in there. So that's now going to put that in there. That's going to then keep our sides, which now got 25 sides that we can now go and place. So with the engines that we have, we're going at 124, which is very fast. We've got one large cannon, and then we've only got sort of smallish areas back and through here. The Sentinel
and then the other one. I don't really have anything else I want to be placing on there. So it really comes down to, like if I place another engine on, I'm going to be going too fast. So, what can we do? Boland's saying, I found that shield resistance is not viable in the totals on the right. Let's have a look and see. The shield resistance, yeah, doesn't matter much. It's actually the recharge rate. If I get rid of that, if we go down to shields, this is defenses back into here. So if I ditch that hydrocore capacitor, which is unique for the Wackerus, what we should do is see that the recharge rate, where is it? Shield recharge rate of 2.5 per second. If I put one of them on it, that should. It's only 2.8. It is. I still think it's useful, but yeah, 0.3 per second. It does improve it a little bit. Actually, sorry, no, the shield resistance. It is only one resistance. I still think it's worth doing. Either that, or we put a splinter pod on. To allow us to take over ships. Maybe we do that. Maybe we do that instead. Splinter pod is one that we stole. This has got an assault strength of 75. Because I've got so many of them in my fleets, this would then allow me to capture. Actually, so Star Mage, hi Star Mage, how are you going? It's saying, isn't shield resistance listed when you mouse over the blue shield bar? Kind of like how armor resistance is listed there too. She's got shield resistance of 1. I want to just try it again, because I mean the idea is that it should be useful. It's only 5. Yeah, so it just gives me an extra shield resistance, makes the shields replenish a little bit faster. But I'm thinking maybe the assault pods will actually be a little bit better. Now the difference between these is the range, really, between the splinter pods and the assault pods. I'll start with the assault pod, with the splinter pods, which are slightly better. So we'll just place those on there for now. I think that's still a good way to go. We've still got a lot of what we can do with this. Still got 20. The Accelerator engines can't work that way, but we can certainly put in another of the vectors. Let's just go and throw that in. There's no real weaponry that I would like to replace than the pulse wave. Actually, we've got the plasma blaster there. Small plasma blaster. I don't need that. I'm going to ditch that as well, and we'll get a small pulse wave cannon. So if we go to the we'll go up to size 19. This is a size it was. We did actually have the 10, saving 5. But if we go with the pulse wave cannon there, that's just going to make it more along with our sort of weaponry that we want to be having. The plasma blaster is pretty good, but the pulse wave cannon is better. So we'll go that way, and that'll do us. Yep. So we're a fair bit under. Just save and exit. Alright, so that's one of them down. The next one that we need to go and do is the escort. So I'll just do the upgrade. Get rid of one of the fission reactors. Replace that with a quantum reactor. Double check. Yep, we're well and truly under. This one goes at 119. We're going to have a lot of extra space on board here. If I send these, these are sort of expendable. If I throw an Acceleros in there, we've still got 10 slots here, so that would actually still work. This would then take it up to a speed of 138. These would be very, very zippy. And you've got 2 medium pulse cannons there. The trouble with that is that they're going to move ahead of everything else. So I might ditch one of those engines and just put down a vector engine. They're still slightly under what the others do, but they're close. And that still then means that we can go and grab another splinter pod up into that empty slot now.
So we can start to, that empty slot is going to be quite useful over time. Yeah, so the last thing, the Wekaru shield booster also has countermeasures. Yeah, it does actually. What's it got? It's got the countermeasures of 5%. Yeah, so that actually gives you better survivability there as well. Actually, I might throw that on here instead. Yeah, it does keep them more with better survivability. I'll keep the frigates to be able to capture. I'll keep this one's with the better shielding and the countermeasures. Yeah, let's go for it. It's only 5. That still leaves me with a fair bit left over in terms of the what we can place when we get the heavy frigates. I think this little combo is going to be fairly cool with that one as well. So let's go and save and exit that one, and then we've just got all we've got left now is the destroyers. So we'll do the upgrade, and again, if we have a bit of a look, these are under the 125. So we'll just go down to the. We've already got a hydrocore capacitor on this one, so we'll go and ditch one of the fission reactors, or ditch both of those. Quantum reactor goes in, so we've now got that one. So this is certainly covering what we have to do here. This one travels at 121, so about the same speed, which is good. It's got 4 engines on, which is fine. It's got the pulse wave, got the iron, sentinel, and it's got 2 large pulse wave cannons, which is fine as well. Countermeasures and short range sensor array is okay. So it really just comes down to probably just grabbing another splinter pod, and we're going to have again a lot of space on this. I'm happy enough with that, to be honest. Let's just go with the splinter pods on this one as well. Okay, so we've got a fair bit of space on these ships if we wanted to be doing anything else. But that works, so we'll save and exit that one. All right, that's done. So we now need to just go and get everything else replenished. So we'll go back to the 4th and just tell them to go and retrofit to the new designs. Just double check. Yep, that's all good. The 6th as well. Just go and force them to go and do it. The 3rd is back at home. Tell them to go and retrofit. The 2nd is going to ultimately need to retrofit as well. They'll end up with the extra ships. That'll be okay. The 1st is way back over here. Tell them to go and retrofit. That'll be okay. And 7th, at this stage, because we don't actually have any real big combat issue, I'll just give orders for all of them to retrofit. It's going off to near the 5th. Did we do the 5th? They're moving back and forwards a bit. All right, that's going to be fine. Let's just unpause. So these guys are declaring war against these guys, I think. Well, these guys have been, like the Boskarans have been very, very slow with doing anything. Fusion ignition, what is that? We've got it there now as well. This is a Nova core reactor. So we've gotten this one, which we don't need it now that we've got quantum exploitation. This one's very, very fuel efficient though. So getting the enhanced fuel cells is going to sort of get around that one anyway. Yes, we've got the Nova core reactor there. That also would have been useful.
go. Got another long-range scanner out this way. Must be a resort base or something. Assuming. Oh no, research station. That's good. Okay, great. That's good. I like the research stations. Gives you more eyes out this way. So under a year now to look at the better frigates. Yeah, Boland's saying it's the best reactor. Yeah, 600 per fuel, better than base quantum or fusion. Yes, yeah, they're great in the early game, but I'm happy enough with the quantum reactor. Yeah, it's a big advantage that they actually have having the Nova core reactor like the Quamino. It makes their ships incredibly powerful because of the power that they've got. So 7th is moving back out now. I do want to get these orbital escape launchers. Let's just see how he keeps on going with that. Okay, general incompetence. Okay, dark office protection. Decline that one. And once we get these frigates, I think at that stage we'll then be able to start to become a bit more aggressive once we sort of replenish these fleets again with the higher level frigate ships. And then I think we'll start to push what we want with the Boskarans. I don't think they're at war with anyone at this stage. Yeah, their anger with us has come right down. They haven't attacked us for a long time. Are they actually at war with the Actarians? Have they got any war weariness? Oh, yes, they do. Okay, well, it is an opportunity for us to... the war weariness won't be impacted by us going to war with them much, but that's why they're not going to war with us. Like, they haven't gone to war with us because of that one. The Daewits, how are they going? Are they at war with anyone? Nope. So they are open to, we are trading with them. So yeah, maybe of value to them. They ran out of retrofit space, so they're going back off to other places to go and retrofit. New mining station. So we'll wait until we get the next lot of frigates, and then we'll do another big upgrade of the fleets. Yeah, they've actually taken over a world in here, which is going to be impossible for them to keep. But that means that their focus is over here, like their fleets will be over here. They really are open to exploitation, but I do want to get these better frigates before I start to go off and do damage. So Lagaments, where's it? It's asking Boland. That's okay. All right. So we've got a riches from the deep. So our intuitive sensing for our native deep ocean worlds has helped us discover a new resource at our colony of Extralis 4. Discovered a new resource polymer, which is cool. That's good. This is again one of the things we end up. We're sort of a bit of an esoteric
sort of Cthulhu faction. Is the way that you describe the Wekaris. With sort of ghost ships and ghost troops and things that will sort of help us fight. That's why people also don't, like the other factions, don't really like us. The Ardils have taken over Cormino worlds. So the aggressive factions are sort of starting to dominate here a little bit. But we should see this one flip back. Like this is a powerful faction in here. The Akdarians. Here we go. We've got to improve frigates now. So with this one here, I won't crash research this one just yet. What we'll do is we will now go and I could even afford to grab another fleet if I wanted to, or really start to ramp up the invasion forces. Or with these frigates, the frigates actually allow us to do a lot of things. So if we go to the ship designs, we've now got the with our frigates, we've got heavy frigates, fast frigates, fleet frigates, and then the standard frigates that we're currently using. We want to upgrade these and have these so that these are like these frigates we've got here. I want to get a different class of ship. So if we go and have a bit of a look at each one of these, if we just go across and edit, the thing we're mainly looking at is the difference between them will pretty much be, a lot of it will end up being this bottom bit. So if we have a look and see, like if we end up with more in through here, one of these engine slots we could end up using, which I'm not really keen on, but we've got 120 and then two 19s on our base one, and only one sensor slot down through that other side. So that's really what we're looking at with our current design. We'll just go and cancel that one. If we have a look at the fleet frigate, which is going to be sort of a larger middle of the road one. In this case, we've got same weaponry, more shielding, and nothing much else. We do actually have an extra engine slot there as well. So these ones here would be travelling very, very fast at 154. So not that we don't need that. So that's something we don't need. The fast frigate will actually have more engine slots. If we have a quick look at that one. So again, more engine slots back in through here. The pulse wave cannon, yeah, so still the same weaponry, same shielding as the other one, but just even faster again. This one travels at 184. Again, not what we need. We don't need that one. Heavy frigate is going to be the key, I think, to this. So if we just go and edit this one. And so these ones will have same engines that we've got. An extra mount in through here, but it's not dramatic. But we do actually have extra shielding as well. So this actually is good. This is very good. And quite often you'll end up with an extra slot in here as well, which is great. So they're using the Nova Core. They've decided the Nova Core is better than what, that's all that they require. I'm actually happy with that. So let's go and change. This one's got one defect. What's its defect? The Empire name. 2 recommendations. Yep, so its top speed is slower than average. 105. What's this? What's the... yeah, we've got space. Let's go and throw another Acceleros on this one, which takes us over this size. Actually, that's probably not going to be what we want. Well, what I can do is I can ditch one of the Corvidian shields and put an armor on. So if I go back and throw heavy armor into it, they're only size 10. So we can do that one. 2 armor, 2 shield. It's going to be fine. Again, we're looking for that 120-ish. That's 124 with what we actually have there. The pulse wave cannons, large pulse wave cannons. We've got plasma blasters there, and then the buckler repeater. Now the buckler repeater is only for the rear. The Sentinel, I do prefer the Sentinel. I'll place that on the rear mount, so we don't actually have, like we've still got the 2 side mounts in through there. This one here is 430. It may still be that the Boskaran weapons, the plasma blasters, will still be better on this ship rather than the pulse wave, because it's going to save me 10. If I just go and throw both of those back on again, so large pulse wave cannon, 2 of these plasma blasters. Yeah, we've only got 7 there, unfortunately.
That's a shame. That's a shame, because I would have liked to have put a splinter pod back on this one as well. Yeah, this extra stuff is just taking us over by 3. Damn, it's actually hardly worth it. It is hardly worth it. It's a tricky one. I think we have to keep the speed. I think that 122 is important. So it really comes down to what we do in here. And we're just going to all we've got to get rid of is 3. I don't want to take another shield off. That's certainly something we could do. And the plasma blasters are about as small as we can place. And really the large pulse wave is only 45. Don't really want to have anything different than that. I mean, if I ditch a plasma blaster, is it more important to have that splinter pod gone? I think it is. I think I like the idea of having the splinter pods on these. The fact that we can have the Hydra core, we're getting a lot of extras with this. If I ditch one of those, ditch both of those, and then grab a pulse wave cannon, a small pulse wave cannon at size 15, just throw it on the starboard side, and get rid of the Sentinel from there, and put the Sentinel on the port side. That way we don't have anything in behind, but we still can fire backwards. So we're still making use of the same two weapon slots we had there before. We end up with we're just under with what's going on through here. So this will be the heavy frigate. V1, so version 1. Actually, I can just call it heavy frigate. That'll be good enough. So now in terms of the retrofit path, I'm just going to now go and change what actually happens with these. So this will be the latest design for the hull. This will then go through to the latest design for the hull. Yep, so this is actually okay. Yep, so that should be alright. With what we have, engagement range, same system. Aggressive, I want to go aggressive again in here. I want to get close. Retreat at 2050. Back in through that other side. That's all okay, I think. So I think that everything else is done. 123 is good speed. We've got a bit more protection. We've got to do a little bit more. We've got one extra internal slot there as well. We're not really adding much to the weaponry. We're adding a little bit, but not much. But we are getting extra armor. So I'll save and exit. So that's our heavy frigate. Now what we want to now do is, with the existing pulse frigate that we have, we want to go back and edit this one. Even though we can't change the base design, we can change what it does. And so what this one does is, it's at the moment, it's got the latest design for the hull, the pulse frigate, so its current hull. But I want this one to actually go across to the latest design for the roll, or to change it to the heavy frigate or something like this. So I'm just going to tell it, go and update when you upgrade to the heavy frigate. So we can now tell it to upgrade to that new ship. So this will then mean that when by default, it will now, any of these type of frigates will then go across and become a heavy frigate. So we've got that one through there. So we'll just go and save and exit. So I can do these changes in here. I just can't change this stuff over this other side. So save and exit. So they'll all be wanting to now go off and retrofit into that new, bigger, heavy frigate design. That still leaves a couple of the other frigates for me to then make use of. And I'm thinking of now getting a bombard ship and using one of those for bombardment. Probably the fleet frigate, I think.
I could even just go back to the standard old frigate and build another frigate design there. But I'll just keep them to one hull type. So I'll just go and edit this one here. And so this will be a bombard ship. I'll just call it the bomber frigate. So this one will be to wipe out populations. So we'll end up sort of maybe placing this one in amongst the invasion forces, potentially, just to sort of keep them going, or to have a dedicated bombardment fleet, just a smallish fleet, just to sort of smash the planets with atomic devastators. Because I'm thinking with the Boskarans, I wouldn't mind really punishing them once we go to war. So we might as well set up an actual fleet to do this. So this is going to ultimately just go and upgrade to the latest design for its own hull. So we want to keep it staying with the bomber frigate, will be what it ends up doing. Let's go and put the weaponry on. We've still got an empty slot in through there. The Acceleros engine's in through this other side. It's travelling at 154. We can ditch that. Again, we're so fast. If I ditch that one even there, we're still at 120, which is about the speed that everything else is. So I might as well just try to keep it down to that one. The reason we're so fast is playing as the Wecarus, we have incredible ship speed. There's only plus 10 there, but the actual overall bonuses we end up getting with the Wecarus is dramatic. Like it really is. It's one of the main benefits we have is the ability to be able to maneuver. Pulse wave cannon. I'm just going to ditch that one for now. The buckler I'm going to ditch. We only have 3 of these. We've got the 3 shields. That's probably going to be good enough. Let's just go back to the atomic devastator. So this is going to be on their large slot. So we've got one of those, and so with that one, that's going to be where we fire that one. We've got the same port and starboard mounts. So we'll just go and throw a interceptor, a sentinel multi-beam on the port side, and on the other side, I just want to have something just to protect the ship a little bit. I've only got size 19, so I'm just going to go and grab another pulse wave pulse cannon, small pulse wave cannon there. Put that on the starboard. So that's going to be that's essentially where we are now. We're still, how far under are we? A fair way, and so we've actually still got even more spots we can then go and place on this one. I might just throw in a manoeuvring engine, a vector. That's just going to help us maneuver, and then really, I mean, the other thing we've got is we've still got another. We've got Nova core reactor there, fuel cells. We've just got this empty slot, which I can sort of put all sorts of different things in there. Maybe splinter pods again. Yeah, there's not much else we'd really need or want. So I'll throw a splinter pod on that as well. And so this is going to be a bomber frigate. It's going to upgrade to itself, which is what we want. We don't want it going off and upgrading to anything else. In this case, engagement range will be aggressive and then neutral for anything that's stronger. Retreat, and I'll make it again a 2050. Invade colonies immediately is okay. That's going to be fine. So we'll just save and exit. And so that's now a completely different design. So we can actually now go and start to build those as well. So so that one is actually ready to go. The fast frigate, we won't worry about designing any of those, but I'm still going to make, see how that bomber frigate, when I edited it, it didn't actually change to manual. I'm just going to click that to manual. I'm going to change that one to manual as well. We're not going to worry about the fast frigates. And then the heavy frigate also didn't go across. Just need to make that one manual, just to make sure that we are actually doing what we want. We don't want the AI coming in and redesigning things. We want to be doing that ourselves in this instance. So that's pretty much where we need to be. What I can then go and do is go back to my fleets, and I'm thinking I'm going to base the bomber fleets on invasion fleets. I think is how we could then sort of just restructure it. So I'm not going to rename or jig these around. Like at the moment, I'm happy with what we actually have in through here.
But actually, no, I do. I'm not all that happy. The attack fleets. What I want to have with the attack fleet, I'm just going to go and edit each of these. So we've got 8 frigates in our attack fleet. We want to change that to the not just the frigate, but the heavy frigate is going to be what we're going to be wanting to have as our frigate design for the attack fleets. Fuel tanker is fine. Escort is just, we've only got like the heavy escort, that's going to be fine as well. We've only got one type of destroyer, that's not a problem. So that's going to be fine. The defense fleet's back in through here, we're just going to edit this one. Again, frigate will become a heavy frigate. And we've still got the heavy escorts. This is how you sort of automate the game fairly effectively. Invasion fleet, at the moment we've just got heavy escorts in there, 3 of those, that's fine. And this is where I'm half tempted to change this up and get bombers in here, but I don't think I'll bother. Then raiding forces back in through this other side as well. Just go and edit this one. So we've got heavy escorts, 3 of those, three frigates. So we'll just go and make them into heavy escorts. So we're going to be replacing all of our current frigates with the heavy frigates. So that's now gotten the, like when we create a fleet, that's what we're going to be actually having. We're going to go to, I think we'll start with the invasion fleet. And yeah, let's just go and copy this one as new. I can add one as new. I can just go and maybe I just do this one, add a new design. So I can actually go in and change this one to a bomber fleet. This is going to make people dislike us, but it doesn't matter anyway, really. A bomber fleet. Okay, so in this case we're going to add items. We're going to be adding in frigates, and we're going to be using the bomber, like the fleet frigate is going to be the latest one. Or I can just say, look, just make it the bomber frigates is what you're going to then go with. Let's make this one where we end up with, say, 6 of these. And I might just give it a small escort as well. So we're going to say 6 of those and maybe 3 of the heavy escorts. There we go. So we'll end up with, say, 6 bombers, and we'll just see how that works, and that may be okay. Fleet engagement range is going to be, basically, I don't want these going off and engaging anything, so I'm just going to make it, say, nearby, so that when this is the defaults, you can override this one, but I don't want it going off and doing anything. Allow the positioning reassignment, ships reassign positions as needed, that's okay. Retreat when enemy strength is 100% or greater, that's okay. Formation very tight, I'm happy with that as well. Use the ship tactics extended fleet, that's okay as well. So we've got that one, this is our bomber fleet. So we'll just go and save that one. So this is actually now a, so with the upgrades, I'm going to, so to allow the fleet template auto upgrade, I don't want it auto upgrading, I want to do that myself. So there's not going to be any upgrading through that particular one. And so we now have a new fleet type, which will then sort of show in through this other side. What this one does is it's the composition is really what you're setting up. The role, actually the role here, I'm going to have to change that as well. Just going to go and edit. Its role, where is the role? Yep, invade. So I'm just going to keep it there. I've got raid, defend, manual, or, but by default I want it to be a, I'll say invade, but it's that will be its role essentially by default. Even though that's not what it's going to be really doing, but I'll just keep it that way. Okay, so that's now, we can now go and build a new one of these bomber fleets. I might as well do this. So this is where we just manage it. So this will be the 10th fleet, and I'll build it at Roskiri 1. So and you'll see there that the things that we just set up there, invade targets nearby, but we're going to be using this for bombardment. And so at this stage, it is actually set, fleet roll is set to invade. It's a bomber fleet. It's building these things up, so they're now going to be in the queue. Having said that, we now need to go and go to all of the different fleets and just tell them to go and do a retrofit. So we'll start with the 4th, because this is the one that's out in the opening. So it's retrofitting at Roskiri 1. At the moment, it's a Pulse Frigate version 7. Let's just see what ends up happening. We'll just unpause. I'll just move it back down to normal speed now. Rangatang saying, what are we bombarding? Occupied worlds. Yes, the Devastators are really, I'm looking at these planets out through here, and even the home world, to end up bombarding those. It's just going to be a way for us to smash into things. Now the 10th fleet, I'll spell some secret information. Accept that trade. And what do you want? Office protection? No, we don't want that. So with the 10th invasion fleet, I'm just going to go Control 0. That will become the that will be the number for that one. And ultimately we'll have that one on manual. All of my fleets have got roles except for the invasion, like the second invasion fleet. In fact, I'll rename this one as well. So they're actually being built in there. 10th Bombardment Fleet. Alright, so we've got that one being created at Roskirri, which is our homeworld. So the various ships are sort of just queuing up. That's going to have like a whole lot of different frigates that it's actually constructing. New frigate completed. Actually, is that? What is that one? Lethal Arrow. Yeah, this is actually the bombardment fleet is being built first, which is actually probably, I really should have had the others doing it. So this is now our bombardment fleet. So this particular one, the bomber frigate, has now got the atomic devastators, etc., etc. So we're now sort of ready to bombard planets with that one, but we still need to get everything else upgraded. Now all the other ones are just automatically going to come back in. Like this is the 9th. The 9th will be coming back. It's moving to Roskirri 1 spaceport, but it still needs to do a retrofit. The what else have we got there? We've got the 8th. 8th should ultimately just retrofit anyway, but let's just tell it to go and do it. Just want to make sure that they do end up doing what we want them to do. That's the 5th. And then we've got the 1st back out this way. So going back for retrofitting back there. Got the 7th back out this way as well. Dayots declare war on the Adil. Okay, so this is actually now keeps them off our back. So they're now at war with each other. So there'll be different groups sort of attacking back out through here. I'm not sure how we're seeing this, but anyway, there's a largish Dayot fleet back out that way. The 6th, we do want to get that one also just retrofitted. So again, these should all be changed across. When we go to the 4th, they're in the process of retrofitting. Yes, this is now a heavy frigate, heavy frigate, heavy frigate, heavy frigate. Still got some frigates in there that need to be upgraded, but we do actually now have the new design coming in. The bombardment fleet is still being built up. So Morbits is saying, hi Daz, even though it's Worldly Wednesdays, you're aware Galciv 4 had a update in the Insider's version regarding warping to other systems by using the sun once a tech is researched? Yes, we were talking about that earlier actually. That was something that I do want to play that again fairly soon. Sorry, I missed a lot of comments here, guys. Well, maybe not that many. So, now where do we get up to there? Actually, Sketic saying, yeah, Dwarf Fortress is pretty immersive. It is very immersive, actually. Very, very cool. Actually, that's a good one. And Sci-Fi Snob is saying, Zentavia fluid is on the house. Do you ever prioritize, so Phased Plasma is saying, do you ever prioritize colonizing non-ocean worlds that aren't minor civs you get for free later on in the game as your population gets more diverse. Yeah, look, as opportunities come up, if we have a look at the colonies that we could actually now go and get, anything that's low, I'm not going to worry about. This one's in Gizarian space. So I don't really have any planets. Oh, there's one there, but it's too far away. Yeah, these are all too far, unfortunately. So, yeah, there's a number of them around the place. But, yeah, it's getting planets, it really does negatively impact your cash flow for a while. Eventually they become very, very valuable, but it just takes time, so you don't want to do it too much. First is still retrofitting, that's heavy. These are just still frigates. Yep, they're now heavy escorts, they've actually done their retrofit. The fourth is still retrofitting. Still got a couple of frigates there. Here they go. So it's just changing the overall construction. So it has to change the full hull. These are dramatic retrofits. These are not just small. Like these are replacing these is a big deal, as you can see with the construction there. Usually, if it's just one component, it's really not much. But in this case, it's a whole hull. Like it's a complete rebuild. So so even though it's a retrofit, it's still like it takes as long as to build the actual fleets in this case. But they are moving across, which is good. 6 is now moving back in. New frigate completed again. That'll be the bombardment fleet. Getting very close now to being able to push hard against the Boskaran. And now that these guys have got their own war that they're going to be playing with, it does allow us a little bit more flexibility back out through here. The first is still, it's going to take a little while to retrofit these. Really, until we start to see the 7th is retrofitting as well. The Artuks are struggling back out here somewhere. It's still just the first, isn't it? First Defence Force. I'm going to decline that one, it's too expensive. So I think I'll end up just taking over locations now that our frigates have got the splinter assault pods. Oh, here we go. Look at this. This is a big fleet. Now, what are they doing? Like they're moving towards where we've actually got a mining station. Like we've actually got their Kazon mine over through here. That looks like a fleet. So let's just see what we can figure out. The 4th is still being fixed up. Actually, what have we got left? We've got heavy escorts all the way through there. We do actually have the heavy frigates in through this other side. So this is our front line. And we've just got 2 destroyers in there as well. We're not going to get there in time. Whatever this is. But this looks ominous. And if they go into the Ura system, in the Ura system we did actually take their gas mining station. So we have this mining station in through here, and that's sort of like on the edge of their space. Now we're starting to see their ships as they come in. We'll start to see some ships. This is where the game gets really interesting. Like this is what Distant Worlds Universe never used to be able to do. Just the nuance of how things are working. So we're seeing an unknown ship there, but this is a big ship. Like we know it's a Boskaran overmight. I would almost bet that that's going to be the big carrier, because we're identifying it as Boskaran before we're identifying even what these ships are. So I'm assuming that's actually an easy ship to see, which I'm thinking will be the carrier. It may not be, but let's just see what actually happens. As it gets closer in, we'll start to get identification. And these will then start to be identified as well. And so we don't know anything at all about this other than it's Boskaran. These we don't know anything at all about at all. And getting closer and closer to the Ura system. But what are they doing? Here we go. We've got another ship that we're now identifying. See, we're not identifying these at all. These are. Oh no, these are Artuk cartel. So these are pirate ships. Oh, okay. Well, this isn't too bad. In this case, we're looking at Artuk. So they've got cloaking on, but these are friendly. So that's not something I have to concern myself with. Carrying out the mission to steal research information on warplight field from the Boskaran overmind. Okay, that's good. And so we are seeing, so this, no, we don't have to worry about this. This is just a big pirate group. So this is actually more of the pirates. Again, these are pirate fleets that we're friendly with in both instances. These are not a threat. Now we're starting to see that these are actually combat ships with the triangle, and we're starting to see now that these are the actual fleet frigates of those pirates. Again, we're paying them off down here. So yeah, we shouldn't have to worry about those. Here comes the fourth. The fourth is now done. We've still got the third. The third has got no mission, and these are now all just frigates. So let's go and get them retrofitted. The fourth is ready. The first is still retrofitting. Fifth is still retrofitting. Sixth is retrofitting as well. They're back over here. The seventh, in the middle of a retrofit. The eighth defence force is done. The ninth has got no mission, but they need to retrofit. These are still just frigates. Construction yard wait is very long. So again, we're sort of a bit stuck in here. So they're just queued up to try to actually, it's not that long. Might be on the planet itself. Oh no, it's not too bad. Might be going to Roskiri. Oh no, it's going back to Cantrilla 4, the 9th. There could also be resource shortages. I don't think there would be though. Like we've had a pretty good run at everything. Yeah, Caslon's a bit low, but everything else, there's nothing at zero other than luxuries. Really want to get these retrofits done before we take it any further. Yeah, let's go and crash this research. And then the next one following this one is structured research, which is what we where we want to be. I mean, tempted to go and get this one next. It just takes a bit of time. No, we'll get the research first. Again, the Gizarians are really just keeping on accelerating away. Sixth is still building. Yep, that's the last one. Just a couple of the little escorts now required on these fleet frigates. And we won't send them in until we really have a clear way forward. But we'll try to do as much damage as we can when we do go in. Now this will then give us more range with our ships. Six is still building this one, 81% now. Third is still in the middle of its retrofit as well. So got a few frigates to go. got one more ship in that fleet, and then we're done with the bombardment, but we don't need that just yet. Yeah, so we're just seeing lots of interaction just coming down this other side. I think we'll, in terms of what we have back up this other side in through here, with the 7th Defence Force, and we still actually have the 1st up this way as well, which is still in the process of being retrofitting. That's pretty much the only real fleets we have out this way. We've got an invasion fleet down here, but that's not really going to, they're not going to be able to remove that one. We also have the 5th. The 5th is now got no mission. It's now all heavy frigates. So they've now all been retrofitted across. And yes, they're all sort of working out fairly well. And so I can use this to plug gaps. Okay, they're now moving back out, the 6th. The 3rd is still retrofitting. So I've got a few more frigates. Okay, that's the other escort. Yeah, they're building these from the planet. A bit slower. There goes the pirates back again, back to their home base. Well, the 3rd, I'm going to change its home base up to this refueling station now. And what that's going to do is, because it's set to automatically the role of defend, it's just going to, once it finishes doing the retrofit, it will then move off to that particular mining station and then just operate from there. So that will become its area of operation. As we start to take more Caslon mines, I'll just keep on leapfrogging these forward a little bit. We also have the 9th, and I'm thinking, because I can see anything that's coming, I'm going to move the 9th up as well. Now I've got these set to raid, which I'm actually happy enough with, and I will set them into the URA system as well as a raiding force. So I'll have that one also go to the home base. So we're moving all of the fleets are now away from the home territory. We do actually have this one again ready to just bounce into wherever it's required. And I'll just keep that one also, this defence force. I'll probably end up having it go off and raid as well once we take a few other locations. The fact that now our basic fleets now have got like an ability to actually board different locations is actually is fairly good. There we go, we've now got better fuel range. So that's just an automatic upgrade. Now getting the research. This is going to be 4 and a bit years. I'm going to go for a little bit and then we'll do the crash research there. So I don't need to upgrade these ships at all. First is got no mission, but it will then, actually the first is still saying it should be able to be retrofitted. These are now all heavy frigates. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that needs to be retrofitted with that one. 3rd is going to be moving off. That's still retrofitting. It's close. 4th is ready to go. 5th is ready to go now as well. Back there is our sort of our floating fleet. That one's ready to go as well. 7th Defence Force is ready to go. The 8th. These are all just little defence forces. I'll probably end up moving some of these off as well, but we just don't know what we're going to have to deal with. So we'll just keep these back for now. The 9th is just doing its last retrofits. So we still have some, yeah, we've still got some normal frigates in there, 2 normal frigates that have to be designed or have to be fixed up. This one is at 35% construction. It's taking a bit of time. So I'll wait for those to move off. I'll just speed up time a little bit here. Then we can go to war with the Boskaran. So their war weariness will be becoming quite substantial, which means we should have a big advantage once we do go and hit them.
I'm assuming that they've now taken their big carrier off into this area of space. They're still holding on to this, which is unusual. Would have thought that that would have been attacked and taken down by now. But their home areas are now completely open. And again, we don't want to rush. We want to make sure that we're ready. I don't really want to be invading worlds at this stage. I do have good income. I might just go back to Roskiri and just double check and see what we can build here. We've got a fair few troops that we can go and pick up. Let's go and grab some armor and also more clones. Here we go. We've got the orbital escape launchers. Now this one will give us on our planets. It'll give us actually a planetary fighter base, which I do want to get actually on the important planets. Our agent has evaded. Yeah, so we've stolen that one from the Boskarans. So we'll just go back into here. We'll just go into building facilities. And so the facilities we have available: robotic troops. We've got the Planetary Defense Center. This one here, maintenance. This one here is the one. This is the planetary fighter base. I'll grab that one there. I'll grab it at my major colonies. So I'll just go and add them in, just so we end up with them, just in case. And definitely out over here. Oh, we want to get that. We want to get this. So we'll get both of those. The altar. It's the wrong area. Where is it? Okay, Planetary Administration Center. We definitely want those. Fighter base. We have a planetary beam defense as well that we can sort of make use of. It's a big standoff weapon. These are, again, I think are going to be useful, so I'll throw that one in there as well on these larger planets. We're going to have to be paying a little bit for these, but it's still probably going to be useful, I think. Yeah, we'll just go and add those planetary defences in. Now, this is one of the things we're going to have to contend with when we do the bombardment. We're likely to have the same sort of deal that we've got coming in. These are now moving off. Third fleet is now moving. What about the 9th? Still just fixing itself up. So it will move off to the Ura system as well automatically once it finishes. And once it's there, I think we're ready to go. We are starting to run out of time today. Decline that. Just get myself a drink of water, be right back. Here comes the 9th, so they're now moving out. We might change their rating to go even further away to 100M. That's just going to extend that range out. And the 6th, I think I'll also set that one up as a raiding fleet. This will then change sort of what it does, and I'll set it also to go to 100M. That one's raid. What is the other one? This one here was... Oh, this was set to attack. No, we want that to be raid. So we want to just have the fleets essentially operate, but then once things actually get going, we then start to become more aggressive. So I've got those happening. Just actually, what have we got there? We've got new mining station completed. This is revealing. No, I'm not really happy. I don't really need that one. So. Yeah, I think everything is sort of now set up and ready to go. Just wait for it to come back in. Yeah, we'll be playing Gal Civ fairly soon, I would think. That'll be sort of the next Worldly Wednesdays that we do. Yeah, there we go. So we've got this one. So this has now been noticed by the Ardils. They've seen the all these hive ships. Different pirate ships now floating back. They're going back for retrofits, I'm assuming. Yeah, retrofitting at hand one. So they've actually come up with something else as well. Just missed that one. Dismiss. God, I'd like another fleet. Moving, our cash was now moving back because of what we're building. But this is still doing okay. So the 9th is ready. That's their fuel range out here. 3rd is even further because they've now fully refueled. Okay, well, I think it's time. I think it is time to go to war. We've got 3 big fleets, 1 little fleet to prosecute this war. Plus we have a bombardment fleet. Now the bombardment fleet, that's going to then change our reputation. Our reputation is 0 at this stage. But let's start this up. I'm a bit worried about bombarding the home planet because we've got the ambassador there, but I want to keep eyes on what's happening now. It was the 1st, now it's the 12th. Yeah, still got the 1st there, which is strength of 3765 with destroyers and frigates. Our fleets are 5-3, so we're stronger fleet for fleet. Yep, 5-8 for that one. The 4th is 4-8, which is okay. And there's Admiral von Schweinhund. Alright, well, I'm going to have to keep 1 fleet back to protect everything. This one's not going to be able to protect, this is really only going to be able to raid. So we'll keep that sort of going with the raids. In terms, okay, let's just get ourselves a bit of a target list of what we want to go for. So we definitely want to take the Caslon worlds. That'll be probably the first thing we aim for. So we have, really the next one across is the Asmestiski system, and there's only 1 Caslon world there, so I'm assuming that they'll have a mine there, so we'll actually move, we might even just move across to start the war with that attack. We also then have this world here, which has got the Caslon mine there. I mean, that would be a great one to take right from the very, very start. In fact, if that was the actual opening move, there's no other Caslon mines in their home system. Capturing that with one of our big fleets would be awesome. They don't have any mining in there. They do have mining out over here at Lamnis. If we took those 3, that would be pretty cool. We're not going to be able to see the actual targets, I don't think. If we go back into military targets and we have a look at the Boskaran overmind, this will then sort of go through the various. They've got a monitoring facility somewhere. Let's have a look and see what this is. The various targets that the game thinks we should have a look at. Where's the monitoring facility? LA8. That's way over there. Oh, hang on. So they've got that. All right, that allows them to see all sorts of things. I'm not going to worry too much about that one. I forgot about this one. This was the one that we were trying to get hold of. It's an ancient monitoring station, so that's actually something inside our territory. I'm not going to worry about it. So that one can just do its own thing. The Alfred 4 mining station, again, that's going to be the Alfred 4. Where's that? That's also inside our territory. So we can certainly go and smash that one with any of the ships, to be honest. Like just one of the smaller fleets, 7th, for example. I might. Oh, hang on. Now we've got an invasion fleet right here. Ah, oh, damn it. I'm assuming the Daewits are coming in to get ready to do something. I can't afford now to race off. Let's wait and see what happens here. Oh no, they're moving back out.
I don't know why that's the case. Actually, before they go, if we go and click on the 16th Invasion Fleet, we've got 11 infantry, 6 armour, so they're actually pretty strong. We've just got the 1st Attack Force down there, the 7th and the 5th. Okay, well, yeah, so Alfred 4. I could certainly move the 7th off to deal with that. And then with the Shoriat spaceport, which is their home planet, another spaceport in there as well. The Gamray spaceports, Lamnus 3 mining station, which is a Caslon mine, so that's one of the ones that it's recommending. So different mining stations back in through here. 1st Defence Force, 12th, and then different planets. I do want to get Han. I do want to, but I'm thinking I'll actually wipe it out and then settle it. That way, it just ends up being one of mine. I mean, I could just take it, but I think I'll have a think about what we do with that one. Yeah, these are set to defend. All right. Well, I think we're still okay. I'm a bit worried now about the Dayuts. Although they are at war with the Ardils. Let's just have a quick look and see how that's going. Yeah, so the Ardil military junta they're at war with them. And then the Boskara are at war with the Akdarians. So I think now is the time for us to really push the Boskara out of the picture. Just go and close that one off. I've only got a limited time, but let's just get started so we can at least sort of have things happening for next time. I don't have to attack as such. I mean, I can just declare war and then start to do things. I might just do that actually. So rather than start doing surprise attacks and things, we'll just go and speak with them. So they're critical war weariness for them, so that's going to be really a problem. We're going to we declare war on you. So there's insufficient justification for this war. We will suffer a negative reputation impact by declaring war now. Reputation doesn't really bother us that much. What that will do though is it will actually help their war weariness because it's unjustified. I wonder if there's a way that we can actually push them into this. Actually, let's go and no. If we go and start attacking, even if they're attacking things inside our own territory, it's still going to do what it's going to do. So let's just go and speak with them, offer treaties, and we'll declare war on you. So how ironic, we were just about to declare war on you, so convenient. So there we go, that's going to be fine. So we're now at war with them. If we go back into diplomacy, so we're now negative 1.3 because of the unjustified war, which is fine. And so and now we'll just start to sort of move off and do different things. So we've got the 6th is going to be raiding. It's going to end up with its own set of targets if they're nearby. They may not be. The 4th, I'm going to possibly just keep back initially. Actually, I might send the 4th off to Han and start to smash the Han system. Just get that one ready for a bombardment. So let's go across to Han itself, so we can sort of see things. So we'll just move it across to here, and then we've got the other fleets. Now we're not going to see anything coming until we sort of get. So I do need to keep one fleet back. I've still got I've got the 4th. I've got the 9th as well, which will be wanting to go off and do raiding. That will ask for targets. But let's go and use our 3rd fleet, which is actually most of the named ships are actually in through here as well. So we've got like a whole range of different ships in through this other side, and they can just go over and take over this the Askmay system with the well, actually we don't actually even have that. If we go back into their home system, let's just see what happens if we try to capture this. We'll just go and make that our mission, and then we'll try to get a presence there. And I will move up the 10th fleet into the URA system as well. Just go and tell it to go and refuel here. I'll set that one to manual now. Okay, so this is the so it's acceptable mission to destroy enemy troop facility. This is going to be at Shoriat, which is their homeworld. I'm going to accept that because we're going to be bombarding their homeworld. Assign mission through here. Send a 6th Defence Force to prepare and attack the Shining Night Star. Of the at the Deadly Abyss. Yeah, we'll go and allow it to do that one as well. And so it's going to find raiding. This is where it's going to. By setting them to raid, they're just going to go and find targets. And I don't know exactly where that is, but they'll start to look now for bases that they can go and hit. Just go and make it down normal speed. I want to keep the 9th back in here. They will find their own targets as well. Oh, here we go. We've actually got a mining station here as well. So this is the 9th that will then just go and deal with this. And again, what I might as well do is just tell it to go and capture. And I'll just then put it back so that it is actually still going to be going and doing raids from this location. So it's actually just still in the same location that we were in. So these have now become manually controlled fleets. Oh, hang on, here we've got another frigate. Where's that one? Oh, we've got a ship that's way over here. Why have we got a ship out this way? Oh, it's a war prospector. That's okay. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that one. There goes their fleet ready for retrofits. So we should bounce in with the 4th and be able to sort of smash them as well. Han, I think, will actually have a bit more of infrastructure than we expect. But we'll start to take over the Ergonite system. Now we're passing other ships, but we're not seeing big fleets. We'll just double check and see if we're seeing anything else over this way, which we're not. It doesn't affect us. It's none of the players that we're going up against. What I don't want to have happen is I don't want these to make peace with the Cormino. What I should have done is actually offered to go to war with the talk to the Cormino about going to war with the Boskaran to actually help them out. That would have been useful. I mean, it may still be that because we're actually now got common enemies, they may be more amenable to different treaties, but they're a long way away. So different ships are sort of coming through into different areas. We'll just keep on with the 9th. They'll just do what they can. So we've bypassed the Asmodiski system. Now we're going to be attacked here. This is going to be an interesting combat, and we're going to be attacked here as well, I think. Yep, another mining station. That's going to be okay. And when we first come in, this is with the attacks we're going to end up having in here are going to be their fleets are going to come after us. We may even be close enough for their fighter craft to come from the planet. If we have a look at the planet itself. What has it got? It does actually have a planetary defense center. Yeah, it doesn't have much there, to be honest. I might take the ambassador from here and move it off. Do we want to do that one? This is Shurjurlan. I'll keep it there for a little bit longer because until we really sort of start to make inroads, once we start the attacks against them, I'll move Shurijulan off there just so he doesn't get killed in the bombardment. Now we may have to be watching two different fights. Ninth wants to go off and prepare and attack the Urgonite Lurker at the Deadly Abyss. No, I'm going to decline that one. This is just a ship, like a passenger ship. The Akdarians and the Boskaran have made peace. There we go. That's what we were sort of a bit worried about. Now that's did they manage to keep? They kept that planet. That's interesting. So they're now going to have an open. They're going to be open to attacking us. How's their war weariness? It's now, see how it's dwindled off because we attacked them. Their war weariness actually went backwards. Like they've now got a justification for being at war with us. So it was negative 30 something, I think, and now it's just negative 24. It's still bad. It's still going to be good for us. Let's now just see what actually happens in here. Now, will their troops come after us? Yep, they will. It's a ghost ship. Got troops on the ground here, not very many. Oh, our agent has been detected after failing to seal research information on Warp Light Field. Fortunately, they were able to escape. That's okay. Our reputation is pretty bad overall. Trying to attack the hand one. Now this is actually where the 9th wants to come in and do it, but we've now got our, we now can see what's going on here. And so this one will now be close enough. This is the 4th. So the 4th fleet is close enough to see what's going on here. There's no... That's interesting. There's actually nothing here. Alright, well there's nothing much for us to smash. Just go and tell it to go and attack these different ships. I thought that there'd be a starport there. The 9th, I want to keep this in reserve until we've actually, been able to make a foothold in here, and then we'll probably sort of manually control them as well. We are going to have to move these back off. So the 3rd is now going to have to destroy this fleet. So we'll head off and do the damage in here. And again, we travel so much faster in space with our ships. These are ghost ships. We don't control them. And we should rip them apart, even though they've got sort of like new designs. Let's have a look and see what's on their big destroyers. Lots of torpedoes. They've got atomic devastators on these. Yeah, so it's not too much. When you look at this, their speed is only 74, like it's half our speed, or just a bit over half our speed. So we can certainly manoeuvre and do a lot of damage. That one's going to sort of suffer as we sort of come back through. I'll just go to half speed. We're just travelling so fast. Their various torpedoes coming in. Just want to take it one ship at a time. That's dead. There's an admiral there. That's a very good admiral. Alright, you, this little escort, can find the escape pod and pick that one up for me, please. So we'll just capture him while we're here. And give him orders to move off. Crew are moving across to go and pick it up. Got it yet? There we go, got it. Okay, enemy admiral captured. So we've now got this one on board. Just go back to the third again. A little bit concerned. We've now got a bit of damage coming in, but not a hell of a lot. And because of the number of ships that we've got, certainly have a lot of power now. Looks like we've destroyed. Looks like the actual base has been destroyed. I'm just going to go and tell my guys to go and build a large mining station here, and then we'll start to just tweak the rest of these. So third, where is it? There we go. We'll just go and come on, do the damage there. There we are. Attack. I'll just give them attack orders to kill off individual ships. Military research strategists have analysed the situation in our war against the Boskaran, looking for tasks that have maximum impact. So we identified the enemy research station at Gamray, and this one here would actually be a good one. So what do we have to do? We have to, must be destroyed. Okay, we'll accept this war mission. So we'll just go that way. We'll have a quick look at the other battle with the fourth. So they're not really doing too much in here. We could make use of them to actually go and do the Gamray mission. So let's go and do that. Now, where was that one? It's this one here. So there's a Gamray research station there, which is that one there, research station, Gamray station. Yep. So I'll send them in to attack that particular station. So we'll destroy that one. So we've still got the first is now sort of. I don't think we're going to see raiding fleets coming back out. So I think the 9th I can now start to send in as well, and I might send them back into the capital. And so we'll start to sort of now work our way back in here somewhere. I'll just get them to start by attacking some of these mining stations. So then they're going to go to manually controlled as well. And now we still actually have the invasion force, which is still sitting back in here, the 10th. It may be time to get our Shirajurilin out of that location, I think. Let's move him off to other locations. Have a quick look at the ambassadors that we do actually have. If we look at diplomacy and then look at the ambassadors. So we've got the one is transferring to Phoenicia 5. We've got one at the Boskaran at Shoria, that's Shirajurilin, we have to move off. We've got the that Nui Anthropod Syndicate there, and the Daewits. I think we'll send him to the Adil. So the homeworld. Where is the homeworld? Adil 3. I'll just do it manually. So we'll send off Shirajurilin at Adil 3. Transfer. Okay, so he'll be there in 2 years. So we've got 2 years to sort of do the damage back over here. The further away we send them, the longer it takes to get there, and then the longer they stay on those particular worlds. But we'll just start to sort of do some damage. Got pulse destroyers coming back through. They're trying to sort of take down other locations. I will just keep watching the third. The third is sort of the one that's in the middle of the fights. And the fact that we can move so fast does give us a big advantage here. It's done. So I can choose whichever direction I want to go. So I'll just now move off to this one. And again, we can now move way outside of their speed and range, because our ships are so fast. This is a major advantage for us, just because they can't catch up, so we can sort of keep them within our firing range and have like the weight of numbers really going heavily after different ships. They're using their torpedoes. That's the countermeasures kicking in. So quickly, just make sure that we are set to tight. Set the formation to tight. Ships. These are now getting in range, but we've been able to destroy those destroyers. Assigned mission. So the 6th Defence Force is preparing to attack the graceful maneuver. No, I'm going to decline that at this stage. I prefer it to go after bases. Once we've cleared this out, we then have the planet. Again, just not really worth it. They're still set to raid, which is what they're looking for targets. Screw it, I'll say yes. Alright, they're moving off, so they've been pretty much destroyed. The 3rd is now ready to go after this, so let's go and smash this. Now, one of the problems we're going to have is there's going to be a lot of small, don't know what that is, I think that's interaction with this particular spaceport, but we want to destroy the spaceport. So this is only just a, where is it, that one through there. It's got a fairly big shielding, but it really shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then Shoriat itself is going to have Planetary Defense Center. That's pretty much all that it has. It doesn't actually have a fighter base or anything like this. So we'll now go and smash this, and then we'll start to bombard as well. So we'll just go in with the 3rd, tell it to go and attack this. Attack the Shoriat spaceport. And I will actually go back now to the 10th and come and tell them to bombard Shoriat itself. So prepare and bombard Shoriat, which is going to have a negative reputation impact. So people are not going to like us doing this. But it's the way that we have to go. Alright, so Taki is saying, what do you think is normal for my Actarian/Xenox playthroughs to be largely underdeveloped in terms of economy, population compared to the other NPC empires when I meet them in mid-game? Yeah, I'm in that same situation. I always end up, you can see there my development was very, very low. I've got a few that have struggled, like because of combat, but I tend not to really be able to compete like with the other bigger ones. To be honest, it's sort of, and I don't know why. I can't give you a reason. I just know that in this sort of sense, I'm just not able to develop my economy. I do my best, but I just can't do it. So. Taki is then saying I use technocracy and can't for the life of it match other empires. Perhaps I'm doing it wrong. Too passive, I'm not sure. Usually I'm fighting pirates near early game, and that keeps me busy. Yeah, that's pretty standard. I don't worry too much about that, to be honest. It's sort of it's one of those things that
like once you start taking a few big planets, you know, that's when things sort of start to develop. But in this case, we're going to be destroying the Boskarans. I don't really want them in my empire, my future empire. So moving across. 12th Defence Force. It's going after a where's that? That is at the Shoriat system as well. So everything is now moving in to do these attacks. Just keeping it all going. So we're not expecting to see big groups of small craft, which can be a bit of a problem for me. I mean, there's only got, like the spaceport's only got two small craft, which is not going to be a problem. So when we go, I do actually have a iron bomb, which is going to start to disable elements on our ships. It's coming down fast. Reputation will tank once we start to actually bombard their homeworld. It'll be interesting to see if we need to get more bombers in that particular fleet. Okay, so the third has now pretty much done that role. Everything else is okay. Let's just keep on going out. We've got all these different mining stations back out this way. Where's a good planet? Where's an important one? We've got ghost ships attacking this. Another spaceport down this way. Let's go and kill that one off. Should have been another good one just to bombard, just to for a bit of fun. So here comes the bombardment fleets. Here comes, actually that's a bombardment fleet there. There's the 9th fleet. And the 4th, the mighty 4th coming in as well. So we're certainly taking this in now as a fairly dominant position that we're actually in. Now there's a defence force there attacking our research station, which I'm not very happy with. We don't have anything on board there. 6th, okay, 6th, you're going back. Your job is now going to not be to raid, but to defend. And you are going to be going down to attack this particular group. And in this case, I'll just set this one back to defense role. So it'll attack that, but then come straight back into defending the Coit system, which is what we want. We don't want sort of other ships going off and doing different things in through there. So that one we will keep back on a defensive role. The others I don't mind so much because we're now sort of pushing hard into their territory. Ghost ship moving off. Ghost ships attacking other things. We've got lots of ghost ships out there at the moment, which is quite nice. Up to 42% there. I think I'll actually now pay for this one. Pay the costs. This one will come in and destroy the base, the research station. Yeah, there's nothing much else at the spaceport either. So this will be one of the targets that we've got. This will give us 25,000 war score. We end up with more happiness, and we end up with 25% research on planetary shields. Let's drop in quickly. And there is a scientist here, so we'll grab the scientist while we're here. Now, with this attack, technology recovered. We found technology that has advanced our understanding of planetary shields. That was because of the war score. So we dismissed that one. We didn't get everything. Now there will be a escape pod. There it is. There. Let's just go and get one of our smallish escorts to go off and grab that one. Pick up the escape pod. I'll just keep the others where they are for now, and so they'll just hover around. They won't move off. They've changed the way that the game works now. So we've got another fleet, which is it's only a single ship really. The 12th Defence is not going to be able to do much. How are we going down the bottom here? That's taken that one out. Nothing else down through there. That gas giant. Everything is going pretty well in here. I think what we'll do is we'll just keep on destroying all of these mining stations. That's not Caslon, is it? No. So as we do more and more of these sorts of things, it's going to cause issues for them. Comes the bombardment fleet. I'm thinking this will probably be enough, but we just don't know 100%. There we are. We've got the scientists, so Zadri Varkin. So he's now been captured as well. We'll just go across with the 4th. So the 4th won't really wander off and do much until I give it orders, but I'm just going to go and tell it to go. I'll start it off somewhere else just initially. What else have we got there? That's nothing much. Is there any other mining stations? Yeah, there's one there. Just go and tell it to attack this. So just go on smashing as much as we possibly can. Just get, and this will be really damaging their infrastructure. This one here is relatively strong. It's about even, but I think there's only 1 or 2 ships that are left back in this particular location. They're not all there. Oh, yes they are. Okay. So they're going to be coming in. Hopefully we'll get back in time to be able to fix that up. It's going to be a fairly interesting little attack. 4th. I'm just going to go and double check. They're set to manual. Can't really tell them to go and do anything else. This is the fleet engagement range if they're doing other things, but it's only nearby. I've got to sort of manually control them when they're set up like this. I've got nothing to set up as a home base for them. Incoming fleet detected. 12th Defence. That's okay. Let's just keep on watching this one. So we're moving back in. Coit is being assaulted. Again, they've split their fleet up into 2. Just go back to the 6th and make sure that we are set for tight. Yeah, we are tight. That's good. Yep, that's okay. That's okay. guys, get there. Yes, more hive ships being spotted. Now we were aiming for this one here. Here we go. Oh, we're way over here. That's not where we want to be. I thought we were going to come sort of screaming back in. I'm going to go and try to attack one of the ones at the back. Attack that one there. I don't think I think now that we've missed by so much that we're going to ultimately got one ship that's close. I hope the others actually get there. Yeah, we're not going to be able to save this. Yep, it's gone. Alright, well, at Coit we then need to go and build another research station. And the 6th, there's no point really staying here. So I'm going to move them off and get them going somewhere else. They've got no home base. It was the Coit Research Centre, but that's now not going to exist. I'll send them to Ura. So the 6th. And I'll set them just to, again, defend until we get the other one back. Alright, so they're now off attacking this little area. Now there are, again, just lone ships that are left over from different fleets. This grouping through here, the 3rd has now done what it has to do there. We'll just keep on smashing these. Just see if we're getting our ones built through here. Outrageous Wager is on its way. Don't know where it is. So it's moving. We've got to move back to the home base, pick up the equipment, and then go and build the mining station there. So it's a long way off. In the meantime, we'll keep on attacking this this planet, and we still have, unfortunately, we still have our ambassador on board on the actual planet itself. But we'll see what we can do here. Now, the next mission we have is to destroy the troop facility, which is that one there. The armor barracks. So we'll see with the bombardment if that one will do that job. Here they come. Capture enemy refueling station at Alpha 4. Where's that? Yeah, I'll accept that. Yeah, we'll accept it. And we'll send the 5th in to do that. Actually, having those splinter, like the splinter assault pods on these things is fairly handy. Okay, let's have a look and start. This one, I do have to get going though, guys, so I'm going to have to actually stop it here just before we do this bombardment. I think I'll leave it, yeah, with the bombardment just about to go in. So that's going to be the 10th with its mission to bombard the Shoriat, the homeworld of the Boskaran. This should get fairly interesting. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching. Paul been saying Worldly Wednesday. What a day to oversleep. Yes. Have to wait a week for the ending of this. Pretty much, I don't have any scheduled streams, I don't think, for Distant Worlds on the Slytherin channel. So yeah, I will leave it another week. I'm liking the pacing of actually only doing it once a week, but I'm looking forward to getting into some Gal Civ. I may even squeeze some Gal Civ in between. This whole next week, I'm going to be playing a lot of Warhammer games because Skulls starts tomorrow, and I've
I've got my skulls pack from Games Workshop, which is great of them to do that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'll be sort of spending a lot of time with Warhammer games over the next week. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.